Hello and welcome to the Velvet Past. Tonight we will discuss unsolved dark ages, enigmas to fall asleep to. Chapter 1. The vanished legion and the whispers of the ninth. Did the earth itself swallow 1,000 hardened souls, or did something far older, far more enigmatic, claim the finest fighting force of an empire? The Roman Empire, a colossal testament to human will and engineering, spread its might across continents, its legions an unstoppable tide. Yet, within its annals, a chilling shadow falls across one particular tale, the inexplicable disappearance of the Ninth Legion, Hispania. This wasn't merely a defeat. It was an erasure, a vanished echo in the vast, documented tapestry of Roman might. Our journey into the Dark Ages begins not with their fall, but with their haunting absence. The year is approximately 117 AD. The Roman Empire, under Emperor Hadrian, stretches to its furthest reaches. In the northern reaches of Britannia, a wild, untamed land of mistrouted Moors and fierce, painted tribes, the Ninth Legion, Hispania, was stationed. These were not green recruits, but veterans, forged in countless battles. Their eagles having flown triumphant across Gaul, Spain, and beyond. Their last known strongholds were in Eberacombe, modern-day York, and later, possibly, in Carlisle. Yet, from this point, their meticulous records, their very presence in the vast machinery of Rome, simply ceased. It wasn't a slow decline, a gradual attrition. It was an abrupt, chilling silence. Imagine the atmosphere in the isolated Roman outposts. Along Hadrian's Wall, the northern frontier of the known world, the wind howled relentlessly, carrying with it the eerie whispers of the unforgiving landscape. Days turned into weeks, then months, without word from the Ninth. No dispatches, no supply requisitions, no reports of skirmishes, other legions. Accustomed to the efficiency of Roman communications, would have felt a growing unease, a cold dread seeping into their hardened resolve. Did they send scouts into the desolate wilds? Did they find scattered bodies, burnt standards, or simply an unnerving emptiness? The historical record is unnervingly silent on the details of their demise. Theories have bloomed like dark fungi in the absence of truth, each more unsettling than the last. Did they march north into the swirling mists of Caledonia, the land of the fierce Picts, and fall into a meticulously planned ambush, annihilated to the last man in a battle so devastating that no survivor escaped to tell the tale? Were they overcome by a force of nature, a blizzard so savage it buried legions beneath drifts of snow and ice, turning them into frozen monuments of Roman hubris? Or did something far more insidious, something beyond the ken of man, claim them? Legends speak of ancient, primal forces lurking in the untamed wilds, of creatures that prowled the misty glens, or of a curse laid upon the land by forgotten gods. The unsettling climax of this enigma lies in its profound lack of closure. No mass grave has ever been definitively identified as the final resting place of the entire Ninth Legion. No complete set of their eagle standards has been found. They simply vanished. The Emperor Hadrian, rather than attempting a large-scale recovery or punitive expedition, chose instead to reinforce the frontier and construct the colossal Hadrian's Wall, a physical barrier against a threat that had seemingly swallowed an entire legion. Was it a retreat, an admission of a defeat so absolute that even Rome dared not speak its name? Or was it a strategic shift, a tacit acknowledgement of a frontier too costly to hold? And so, as the digital embers of this tale dim, we are left with the haunting echo of the vanished ninth. Their disappearance is a stark reminder that even the mightiest empires can be humbled by the enigmatic whispers of the wild, by forces that refuse to be chronicled or understood. In the long forgotten nights of the Dark Ages, when the mist rolled in and the wind carried unseen voices, did the remaining Roman soldiers, huddled around their campfires, truly wonder if their comrades had merely succumbed to a human enemy, or if they had, in fact, stepped through a veil into an unsolved enigma, swallowed whole by the very land they sought to conquer. The silence speaks volumes, a chilling lullaby from a time when the earth itself held secrets too profound for human understanding. Chapter 2. The Mystery of the Dancing. Plague of 1518. Did a joyous revelry truly descend into a horrifying, uncontrollable madness, or was it a demonic possession, a silent whisper from the underworld that compelled bodies to dance until death? In the summer of 1518, in the narrow, cobblestone streets of Strasbourg, a terrifying and inexplicable phenomenon erupted, casting a dark, surreal shadow over the very heart of the Holy Roman Empire. This was no mere folk dance or festive jig. It was the dancing plague, a collective frenzy that compelled hundreds of people to dance uncontrollably and without rest, until their bodies gave out from exhaustion, heart attack, or stroke. It was a bizarre, tragic ballet of the doomed. Imagine the scene: a scorching July afternoon. Frau Trophia, a woman of no particular note, steps out into a bustling Strasbourg street. She begins to dance. Not a graceful waltz, but a frantic, unceasing shuffle, her limbs flailing, her eyes fixed and unseeing. Passers-by stop, curious, then concerned. She doesn't stop. For hours, she dances. Then, inexplicably, others join her. One by one, then, in small groups, people begin to move, compelled by an invisible force, their feet tapping, then shuffling, then pounding against the cobblestones. Within a month, over 400 people are afflicted, a writhing, desperate mass, caught in an inescapable rhythm. The city authorities, the physicians, and the priests were utterly bewildered. This was no ordinary illness. There were no obvious wounds, no fevers, no visible signs of contagion in the conventional sense. Yet, the dancers could not stop. They were not dancing for joy. Their faces were often contorted in agony, their eyes pleading for release, their bodies betraying them. Priests performed exorcisms, believing it to be the work of demons or a divine curse. Physicians, steeped in the humoral theories of the time, suggested imbalances of hot blood and prescribed bleeding, purging, and cooling remedies, all to no avail. The dance continued, relentless and horrifying. The atmosphere in Strasbourg would have transformed from one of bewildered curiosity to outright terror. The constant, rhythmic pounding of hundreds of feet, the gasps for air, the moans of exhaustion, the sudden, sickening thuds of bodies collapsing, it would have been a macabre symphony, a soundtrack to collective madness. The authorities, in a desperate and misguided attempt to cure the affliction, actually encouraged the dancing, setting up stages, hiring musicians to play for the afflicted, believing that if they simply danced the illness out, they would recover. Instead, the relentless exertion claimed more lives. The unsettling climax of the dancing plague lies in its profound mystery. What truly caused this terrifying phenomenon? Was it an obscure neurological disorder, a mass psychogenic illness fueled by the immense stress and hardship of the era famine, disease, religious upheaval, and widespread poverty? Was it ergotism, a poisoning caused by a fungus on rye, leading to convulsions and hallucinations, though the symptoms don't perfectly align. Or was it something else entirely, a form of historical hysteria, a collective trance born of desperate times? The answers remain elusive, forever shrouded in the mists of history, a chilling testament to the fragility of the human mind and body when confronted by inexplicable forces. And so, as the phantom rhythm of those medieval dancers fades into the silence, we are left with the haunting echo of their desperate, unceasing torment. Their strange malady is a stark reminder that the human spirit, under immense duress, can manifest illness in terrifying and enigmatic ways. In the long, forgotten nights of the Dark Ages, did the surviving citizens of Strasbourg, huddled in their homes, truly wonder if the rhythmic pounding outside had merely been a strange disease, or if they had, in fact, witnessed a silent whisper from the underworld, compelling bodies to dance until death, an unsolved enigma forever etched into the cobblestones of their city. The echoes of their steps speak volumes, a chilling lullaby from a time when the human spirit could be consumed by a madness beyond comprehension. Chapter 3. The cryptic voicelessness of Caspar Hauser, a soul truly emerged from the abyss. A living enigma with no memory, no language, no past, or was his very existence a carefully constructed deception? A profound tragedy woven from silence and manipulation. Our journey now takes us to the tranquil, unsuspecting streets of Nuremberg, Bavaria. In the spring of 1828, here, on a quiet Monday afternoon, a young man, seemingly in his late teens, appeared as if from nowhere, a silent, bewildered phantom, holding a letter that merely stated he wished to be a cavalryman. This was Caspar Hauser, a name that would echo through history, synonymous with an unsolved enigma wrapped in profound human suffering. Imagine the shock of the townsfolk, a young man, well-dressed but disoriented, with a vacant stare and an awkward gait. He could barely walk, speaking only a few unintelligible words, pointing to his shoes as if they were a foreign object. His hands were soft, uncalloused, his skin unusually pale. He carried with him a letter claiming he had been kept in isolation, since infancy, perpetually confined, never seeing another human, never hearing the sound of a voice. For 17 years, according to the note, he had lived in total darkness, fed only bread and water, taught only to write his name. The authorities, perplexed, took him in. What followed was a painstaking, often agonizing, attempt to draw him out of his profound state of isolation. He slowly learned to speak, to communicate his terrifying ordeal. A life spent in a tiny dark cell, lying on straw, unable to stand upright, aware of no one but a shadowy figure who would leave him food and water. He claimed he had no memory before the moment he was suddenly led out of his confinement into the blinding light of the world. His profound lack of social skills, his childlike wonder at the simplest things, a bird in flight, a flower, a ray of sunlight, all seemed to confirm his incredible story. The atmosphere around Caspar Hauser was one of intense public fascination. Mingled with suspicion, he became a celebrity, a symbol of human resilience, but also a magnet for curiosity seekers and political schemers. Was he a lost prince, perhaps a rightful heir to a noble house, kidnapped and hidden away to prevent him from claiming his birthright? Rumors flew, pointing fingers at various aristocratic families, most notably the House of Baden, fueled by the sheer mystery of his origins and the extreme measures taken to isolate him. The unsettling climax of Caspar Hauser's tale is his mysterious, violent death. On December 14th, 1833, he was lured to a park by an unknown assailant stabbed in the chest, and left to die. He stumbled home, barely able to explain what had happened, and succumbed to his wounds 3 days later. The attacker was never identified, and the motive remains unknown. Was it a desperate attempt to silence him, to bury the secrets of his true identity and brutal upbringing? Or was it something far more cynical, a meticulously planned murder to silence an inconvenient lie, to extinguish a fabricated enigma? The dagger found at the scene, the cryptic note left behind, all added layers to the enduring mystery. And so, as the echoes of Caspar Hauser's bewildered whispers fade into the silence, we are left with the haunting question of his true identity and the profound cruelty of his short, tragic life. His story is a stark reminder that some enigmas defy simple explanation, that the past can be deliberately erased, and that human suffering can be profoundly intimate and meticulously orchestrated. In the long, forgotten nights of the Dark Ages, did the shadows that haunted Caspar Hauser's waking hours truly represent a simple, brutal confinement, or were they, in fact, the lingering spectres of a grand, unsolved conspiracy, a voiceless enigma forever bound to the cruel caprice of human power? The questions linger, a chilling lullaby from a time when a human life could be a living mystery. Chapter 4. The Lost. Colony of Roanoke and the silent word did an entire settlement of brave souls vanish into the mists of a new world, spirited away by vengeful spirits or absorbed by the ancient wilderness, leaving behind only a single, silent word carved into a tree. In the late 16th century, on the untamed shores of what would become America, a haunting enigma unfolded that continues to baffle historians and resonate with a profound sense of loss. This was the lost colony of Roanoke, a determined group of English settlers who simply disappeared from the face of the earth, leaving behind a legacy of unanswered questions and chilling speculation. Our story begins in 1587, when a new group of 117 English colonists, led by Governor John White, arrived on Roanoke Island, off the coast of present-day North Carolina. This was not their first attempt. Earlier expeditions had met with hardship. This time they came with families, with the dream of establishing a permanent settlement, a New England across the vast ocean. But the land was wild, the native tribes unpredictable, and the journey fraught with peril. Supplies were scarce, and tensions mounted. Governor White soon sailed back to England for vital provisions, promising to return swiftly. Imagine the atmosphere. In the fledgling colony, the creaking of wooden structures in the salt-laden wind, the constant vigilance against unseen threats, the quiet desperation as winter approached and no ship appeared on the horizon. The colonists, including White's own daughter and granddaughter Virginia Dare, the first English child born in the New World, would have faced unimaginable hardship. Their hope would have slowly dwindled with each passing day, replaced by gnawing fear. White, however, was delayed. War with Spain, specifically the threat of the Spanish Armada, prevented his return for 3 agonizing years. When John White finally returned to Roanoke in 1590, guided by the familiar landmarks of the coastline, a profound, eerie silence greeted him. There were no signs of human life, no welcoming fires, no distant shouts. The settlement was utterly deserted. The houses had been dismantled, the fort overgrown. The only clue, chillingly deliberate, was found carved into a wooden post of the palisades surrounding the former settlement. The single word, Croatoan. On a nearby tree, the letters Crow were etched. There was no sign of a struggle, no indication of violence, no scattered bodies. It was as if the entire colony had simply melted into the earth, swallowed by the vast ancient wilderness. The unsettling climax of the lost colony of Roanoke lies in its persistent, tormenting ambiguity. The Croatoan carving has been the subject of endless speculation. Was it a message indicating the colonists had moved to Croatoan Island, modern-day Hatteras Island, home to a friendly Native American tribe? If so, why did White, despite searching, never definitively find them? Did they assimilate into the local tribes, their English identity gradually dissolving into the rhythms of the indigenous people? Or did they meet a more violent end, massacred by hostile tribes, their remains consumed by the unforgiving land? Perhaps they simply succumbed to disease, starvation, or the brutal elements. Their final moments unrecorded, their bodies dispersed by nature. The truth remains buried beneath centuries of untamed wilderness and the silent, impenetrable veil of the past. And so, as the whisper of that single carved word fades into the silence, we are left with the haunting echo of the lost colony. There, disappearance is a stark reminder that the ambitions of empires can be humbled by the enigmatic vastness of a new world, by forces that absorb and erase human presence. In the long, forgotten nights, did the spirits of the vanished colonists truly mingle with the ancient whispers of the wilderness? Their fate forever an unsolved enigma, a silent tale etched into the very trees of a new world. The absent speaks. Volumes, a chilling lullaby from a time when an entire people could simply vanish. Chapter 5. The Mystery of the Mary Celeste and the Ghostly Crude. A phantom hand guide the sails. Or did the very ocean swallow the souls of a crew, leaving behind a perfectly intact ship, sailing without a living soul aboard? In the vast, indifferent, the expanse of the Atlantic Ocean, a haunting enigma unfolded that continues to chill the hearts of mariners and mystify all who hear its tale. This was the Mary Celeste, a brigantine found adrift in December 1872, perfectly seaworthy, her cargo untouched, her lifeboats missing, but utterly devoid of her captain, his family, and her entire crew. It was a maritime mystery so profound it seemed lifted from a ghost story. Our story begins on November 7th, 1872, when the Mary Celeste set sail from New York, bound for Genoa, Italy, with a cargo of industrial alcohol. Aboard was Captain Benjamin Briggs, his wife Sarah, their 2-year-old daughter Sophia, and a crew of 7 experienced sailors. The ship was well maintained, the captain highly respected, the cargo valuable. By all accounts, it was a routine voyage, a familiar journey across the vast, rolling expanse of the Atlantic. Imagine the routine on board: the creaking of timber, the slap of waves against the hull, the cries of gulls, the shared meals, the rhythmic life of a sailing vessel. Then, on December 4th, 1872, a British brigantine, the Dei Gratia, sighted the Mary Celeste drifting erratically about 400 miles east of the Azores. Captain Morehouse of the Dei Gratia, a friend of Briggs, immediately recognized the ship. Something was profoundly wrong. Her sails were partly set, but disarrayed. Her foresail was ripped. There was no one on deck. No flag was flying. The atmosphere of discovery must have been palpable as the boarding party from the Dei Gratia stepped onto the deck of the Mary Celeste. A profound, unnatural silence greeted them. The galley contained food half prepared on the stove. Children's clothes lay strewn in the captain's cabin. Personal effects, including money and valuables, were untouched. The ship's logbook was up. To date, its last entry, dated November 25th, 10 days earlier, placing the ship near the Azores. The compass was broken, and the chronometer was missing, along with the sextant. Crucially, one of the ship's 2 lifeboats was gone. There were no signs of a struggle, no blood, no violence. It was as if everyone had simply vanished into thin air, leaving their lives suspended in time. The unsettling climax of the Mary Celeste mystery lies in the utter lack of any concrete explanation for the crew's disappearance. What could have caused an experienced captain to abandon a perfectly sound ship with his family and crew, taking only a single lifeboat and a few navigational instruments? Was it a sudden squall that forced them into the lifeboat, only for them to be lost at sea? If so, why no struggle, no distress signals? Was it a burst of fumes from the alcohol cargo, causing panic and a hasty abandonment, only for the fumes to dissipate afterward? This theory, while plausible, doesn't fully explain why the captain wouldn't return once the danger passed, or why no bodies were ever found. Or did something far more sinister occur, mutiny, piracy, or an encounter with a hostile ship, though there was no evidence of forced entry or theft? The enigma of the Mary Celeste remains, a silent, ghostly ship sailing through the annals of history, forever holding its terrible secret. No bodies, no definitive answers, just the chilling image of a perfectly maintained vessel adrift. A maritime riddle whispered on the winds of the Atlantic. And so, as the phantom creak of the Mary Celeste's timbers fades into the silence, we are left with the haunting echo of its vanished crew. Their disappearance is a stark reminder that the vastness of the ocean holds secrets beyond human comprehension, that life can be extinguished in a moment, leaving only the profound absence behind. In the long-forgotten nights, did the spectral figures of Captain Briggs and his crew truly drift on unseen currents, their fate forever an unsolved enigma, a chilling lullaby from a time when the sea itself could swallow souls without a trace? The silence speaks volumes, a haunting testament to the unforgiving mystery of the deep. Chapter 6. The Unfinished. Cathedral of Beauvais and the architects cursed it a divine punishment, truly curse the soaring ambitions of stone and glass, dooming a masterpiece to forever remain unfinished, a hollow echo of a forgotten oath. In the heart of northern France, in the ancient city of Beauvais, stands a towering, yet tragically incomplete testament to human aspiration and divine retribution, the Cathedral of Saint Pierre. This isn't merely a construction project that ran out of funds. It is a profound enigma, a whispered tale of architectural hubris and a curse that seems to have plagued its very foundations for centuries, leaving it a monumental shadow of its intended glory. Our story begins in 1225, during the golden age of Gothic cathedrals, when architects dared to push stone, glass, and faith to unimaginable heights. The ambitions for Beauvais Cathedral were truly breathtaking. It was designed to be the tallest cathedral in Christendom, a soaring prayer in stone, reaching higher than any structure before it, dwarfing even the magnificent Notre Dame de Paris. Its choir, a symphony of delicate tracery and stained glass, would eventually reach an astonishing 157 feet, a feat of engineering that defied gravity itself. Imagine the atmosphere. During its construction, the constant clang of hammers, the rhythmic creak of scaffolding, the shouts of masons and laborers, all driven by a fervent belief in God and the glory of their craft. Generations dedicated their lives to this colossal undertaking, their skills honed to perfection, their faith unwavering. Yet, from its very inception, the cathedral seemed to be plagued by misfortune. Fires repeatedly ravaged earlier structures on the site. Then, a chilling precedent was set. In 1284, the magnificent choir, scarcely completed, collapsed. It was a catastrophic failure, a deafening roar of stone and timber, sending a shudder of fear through the entire region. The collapse was not merely an architectural setback. It was seen as a sign, a terrifying omen. Was it divine displeasure at humanity's hubris, daring to reach too close to heaven? Or a more earthly flaw, a lack of sufficient flying buttresses, perhaps unable to withstand the immense outward thrust of the soaring vaults? Despite the disaster, the resolve remained. They rebuilt, striving for even greater heights, adding more support, but always pushing the limits of stone and engineering. The relentless ambition was both its glory and its curse. The cathedral continued to rise, but always with a sense of foreboding. The ambitious transept, begun in the 16th century, was intended to complete the structure, to finally bring it to its intended glory. Yet, in 1573, another catastrophic collapse occurred, this time of the central tower and spire. Again, the dreams turned to dust, a deafening echo of architectural hubris. The constant struggle, the repeated failures, the immense cost in lives and resources began to whisper of a deeper, more profound curse. The unsettling climax of Beauvais Cathedral's tale is its perpetual incompletion. Its choir remains the tallest Gothic choir in the world, a breathtaking marvel. But beyond it, the nave, the body of the church, stands unfinished, a jagged, truncated silhouette against the sky. The cathedral literally ends abruptly, connected to a far smaller, older church, a visible scar of unfulfilled ambition. Funds ran out, later generations lost the fervent zeal, and the repeated structural failures instilled a fear that perhaps the heavens truly did not wish for this church to be completed. It stands as a monument to what could have been a poignant symbol of humanity's reach exceeding its grasp. And so, as the phantom whispers of Beauvais Cathedral's unbuilt dreams fade into the silence, we are left with the haunting echo of its incomplete glory. Its perpetually unfinished state is a stark reminder that even the grandest aspirations can be humbled by forces both seen and unseen, by the limits of human skill, or perhaps by a divine decree. In the long-forgotten nights of the Dark Ages and beyond, did the citizens of Beauvais, gazing upon their truncated masterpiece, truly believe it was merely an architectural failure? Or did they, in fact, witness a silent, enduring curse, a chilling lullaby from a time when the very stones themselves held secrets of hubris and divine judgment? The profound absence of its complete form speaks volumes, a testament to ambition and a chilling enigma. Chapter 7. The Fate of the Princes in the Tower and the Royal. Shadowed it, two innocent royal brothers truly vanish into the chilling embrace of the tower, spirited away by a malevolent hand, or did their very existence pose too great a threat to a king's fragile claim, forever sealing their fate in a conspiracy shrouded in velvet and whispered betrayal? Our journey now takes us to the heart of England, to the grim stone fortress of the Tower of London, in the tumultuous year of 1483. Here, within its ancient walls, two young boys, sons of a deceased king, entered its shadowed gates and were never seen alive again. This was the haunting enigma of the princes in the tower, a royal mystery that continues to cast a long, cold shadow over the history of the English monarchy. Our story begins with the sudden death of King Edward IV in April 1483. His rightful heir was his eldest son, Edward V, a boy of only 12 years. His younger brother was Richard, Duke of York, aged 9. Their uncle, Richard, Duke of Gloucester, swiftly declared himself Lord Protector, ostensibly to guide the young king. But ambition, a serpent in the garden of power, soon began its insidious coil. The young king and his brother were lodged in the Tower of London, ostensibly for their safety and preparation for Edward V's coronation. Imagine the atmosphere within the tower, a fortress, both a royal palace and a notorious prison. For the young princes, it would have started as a gilded cage. Their daily lives probably comfortable, but increasingly isolated. Outside, the political currents churned violently. Richard of Gloucester, with masterful cunning, began to consolidate his power. He declared his nephews illegitimate, effectively nullifying their claim to the throne. Then, on June 26, 1483, he seized the crown for himself, becoming King Richard III. With Richard now king, the young princes became an intolerable threat, living symbols of a rightful claim that could destabilize his reign. What happened next is shrouded in impenetrable secrecy and conflicting whispers. After the summer of 1483, the boys were simply no longer seen. The tower's walls, accustomed to holding prisoners, now seemed to hold a profound, chilling silence concerning the royal children. The unsettling climax of their fate lies in the enduring debate over their disappearance. Did King Richard III, a monarch desperate to secure his precarious throne, order their murder? This has been the prevailing narrative for centuries, fueled by later Tudor propaganda. Legends speak of them being smothered in their beds, their bodies buried secretly within the tower itself. In the 17th century, 2 small skeletons, believed to be children, were indeed found beneath a staircase in the tower, adding macabre weight to this theory, though definitive identification remains impossible. Or was it someone else? Could Henry Tudor, who would later defeat Richard III at the Battle of Bosworth Field and become Henry VII, have had them killed to eliminate any potential rivals to his own shaky claim, then cleverly blamed Richard? Or did they escape, spirited away by loyalists to live out their lives in obscurity, their true identities hidden from the dangerous currents of power? The absence of any credible sightings, any conclusive evidence, or any definitive grave leaves, their fate suspended in a realm of chilling speculation. The stone walls of the tower remain silent witnesses to a crime that has never truly yielded its secrets, and so, as the ghost of the princes in the tower fades into the silence, we are left with the haunting echo of their vanished innocence. Their disappearance is a stark reminder that the pursuit of power can be a ruthless, consuming force, capable of extinguishing even the most innocent lives in its path. In the long-forgotten nights, did the spirits of those young boys truly wander the ancient battlements, their fate forever an unsolved enigma, a chilling lullaby from a time when a royal crown could demand the ultimate sacrifice? The silence speaks volumes, a profound testament to a crime veiled in secrecy and whispered betrayal. Chapter 8: The Byzantine Fire and the Secret of its Undying Flamed It. A sorcerer's pact with dark forces truly conjure an unquenchable inferno. Or was it a lost alchemy, a devastating secret weapon that consumed all in its path, vanishing with the empire that wielded it? Our journey now takes us to the glittering, formidable walls of Constantinople, the heart of the Byzantine Empire, a civilization that clung to the legacies of Rome while forging its own unique destiny. In the medieval world, when sieges were commonplace and naval power was paramount, the Byzantines possessed a terrifying, almost mythical weapon that turned the very sea into a raging hellfire, Greek fire. This was not merely burning oil. It was an enigma, a liquid flame that defied water, clinging to ships and men, consuming all it touched. Our story unfolds in the 7th century, a time of relentless pressure on the Byzantine Empire from invading Arab fleets. Constantinople, the jewel of the East, found itself repeatedly besieged by naval forces that threatened to strangle its power and conquer its impenetrable walls. Yet, time and again, when the enemy fleet pressed too close, a horrifying, inexplicable weapon would unleash its fury from Byzantine ships, turning the tide of battle with a consuming, unholy glow. Imagine the terror of the enemy sailors. Their ships, wooden and vulnerable, suddenly engulfed in an unnatural, hissing flame. This fire was unlike any they had ever encountered. It adhered to surfaces, it was notoriously difficult to extinguish, and most terrifyingly, it continued to burn on water. Attempts to douse it with buckets of seawater only made it spread, turning the very ocean into an inferno. The Byzantine ships, armed with special siphons or nozzles, would spray this mysterious liquid fire onto enemy vessels, transforming naval engagements into scenes of utter, fiery pandemonium. The air would be thick with the smell of burning pitch, screams, and the acrid temps of an unquenchable blaze. The composition of Greek fire was a closely guarded state secret, known only to a select few Byzantine engineers and alchemists. It was referred to in hushed tones as liquid fire, sea fire, or Roman fire. Its true formula was never committed to paper for general consumption. Passed down orally through trusted generations, bound by oaths of silence. The unsettling climax of Greek fire's story is its complete and utter disappearance from the historical record. What were its components? Was it a sophisticated mixture of naphtha, quicklime, sulfur, resin, or petroleum derivatives, perhaps ignited upon contact with water or air? The precise proportions, the method of its ignition, and the mechanics of its projection from bronze siphons remain a profound mystery. Legends speak of it being invented by a Syrian engineer named Kallinikos of Heliopolis, but the exact formula died with the collapse of the Byzantine Empire, or perhaps even earlier, as political upheavals and shifts in power saw its knowledge deliberately suppressed or accidentally lost. The Byzantine Empire eventually fell, but Greek fire did not reappear. In subsequent conflicts, it was a weapon so unique, so devastating, that its sudden absence after centuries of use is as enigmatic as its composition. Did the last possessors of the formula perish without passing on the secret? Was the knowledge deliberately buried to prevent it from falling into hostile hands? Or was its continued production simply too complex, too resource-intensive for the fragmenting empire to sustain? And so, as the phantom hiss of Greek fire fades into the silence, we are left with the haunting echo of its unquenchable, lost flame. Its disappearance is a stark reminder that some of humanity's most potent creations can vanish without a trace, their secrets swallowed by the very passage of time. In the long, forgotten nights, did the whispers of ancient alchemists truly conjure an unquenchable inferno, or was it a lost alchemy, a devastating secret that consumed all in its path, forever bound to the fate of the empire that wielded it? An unsolved enigma of ancient warfare. The silence speaks volumes, a chilling lullaby from a time when fire itself held terrifying secrets. Chapter 9. The disappearance of the Amber Room and the Nazi shadow did. A treasure of unparalleled beauty truly vanish into the chaos of war, spirited away by unseen hands? Or does its very existence hold a dark secret, a chilling enigma wrapped in the brutal embrace of conflict and deception? Our journey now takes us to the heart of World War II, a time of unprecedented destruction and geopolitical upheaval. Amidst the chaos of collapsing empires and shifting front lines, one of the world's most breathtaking artistic marvels, the Amber Room, mysteriously disappeared, becoming a haunting symbol of lost heritage and an enduring, tantalizing riddle. Our story begins not in antiquity, but in the opulent courts of 18th century Prussia and Russia. The Amber Room was an exquisite chamber adorned with amber panels backed with gold leaf and mirrors, considered an eighth wonder of the world. Gifted by Prussian King Frederick William I to Peter the Great of Russia in 1716, it was eventually installed in the Catherine Palace near St. Petersburg, where it became a shimmering testament to imperial grandeur, its amber walls glowing with a warm, honeyed light. Imagine the meticulous craftsmanship, millions of amber pieces, meticulously shaped, polished, and fitted together to create an unparalleled mosaic of light and color. It was a space that radiated warmth, beauty, and immense value, a true treasure of Tsarist Russia. But then, the storm clouds of the 20th century gathered. World War II erupted, and in 1941, Nazi Germany launched its devastating invasion of the Soviet Union. As the German army advanced rapidly towards Leningrad, the Soviet authorities attempted to dismantle the Amber Room for safekeeping. However, the amber was brittle and fragile, and they quickly realized it could not be moved safely. Instead, they attempted to conceal it behind wallpaper. The chilling atmosphere of desperation would have permeated the Catherine Palace as German forces approached. When the Nazis finally captured Tsarskoye Selo, they quickly discovered the Amber Room. With brutal efficiency, they dismantled it within 36 hours, packing the precious panels into 27 crates. The crates were then shipped to Königsberg Castle in East Prussia, where they were reassembled for display. For a time, it existed in its new, stolen home, a testament to Nazi plunder. The unsettling climax of the Amber Room's tale is its sudden, inexplicable disappearance amidst the final, brutal throes of the war. As the Soviet Red Army advanced towards Kingsburg in 1945, the Amber Room was once again disassembled, presumably to be moved to a safer location. But from that point, its trail vanishes. Kingsburg Castle itself was heavily bombed by Allied forces and later taken by the Soviets. When the dust settled and the ruins were searched, the Amber Room was gone, utterly vanished. What became of it? Did the crates, containing millions of pieces of amber, perish in the devastating fires of Königsberg, reduced to ash and rubble? Was it smuggled out by fleeing Nazi officials, perhaps hidden in a secret bunker, or transported by submarine to an unknown location? Legends speak of its deliberate destruction, or its careful reburial in a hidden underground complex, perhaps somewhere in the vast, unexplored regions of former East Prussia, or even deeper in the mountains of Germany. Countless searches, expeditions, and investigations have been launched, from dedicated treasure hunters to government-sponsored teams, but the Amber Room has never been definitively found. Its fate remains one of the greatest unsolved art mysteries of the 20th century, and so, as the ghost of the Amber Room fades into the silence, we are left with the haunting echo of its lost brilliance. Its disappearance is a stark reminder that even the most magnificent creations can be swallowed by the chaos of human conflict, becoming a haunting symbol of war's destructive power and its ability to erase beauty in the long, forgotten nights. Did the whispers of fleeing soldiers truly carry the secret of its hiding place? Or was it a dark deception, a chilling enigma forever bound to the brutal shadow of Nazi power? The absence of its golden glow speaks volumes, a chilling lullaby from a time when treasure could vanish, leaving only a lingering mystery. Chapter 10: The unexplained disappearance of Flight 19 and the Bermuda Triangle at the very fabric of reality. Tear open, swallowing 5 aircraft into an abyssal void, or does a malevolent force, lurking beneath the waves, claim all who trespass upon its domain? Our journey now takes us from the ancient world to a more recent, yet equally enigmatic realm of mystery, the vast, shimmering expanse of the Atlantic Ocean, specifically a region known as the Bermuda Triangle. Here, on a seemingly ordinary afternoon in December 1945, a chilling enigma unfolded that would define the very essence of unexplained disappearances. The vanishing of Flight 19, a squadron of 5 U.S. Navy Avenger torpedo bombers, followed by the baffling disappearance of a rescue plane sent to find them. Our story begins on December 5, 1945, from Naval Air Station, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Flight 19 consisted of 5 Grumman TBM Avenger torpedo bombers, embarking on a routine navigation training exercise. Leading the flight was Lieutenant Charles C. Taylor, an experienced pilot. The mission was simple: fly east, drop practice bombs, then return. The weather was calm, the conditions clear. What could possibly go wrong? Imagine the scene from above. 5 aircraft, their engines droning steadily, flying in formation over the turquoise waters of the Atlantic. The pilots, communicating with each other and with base, following their assigned course. Then, something shifted. Approximately 90 minutes into the flight, Lieutenant Taylor reported that his compasses were malfunctioning, and he was lost. His voice, initially calm, grew increasingly agitated. He believed he was over the Florida Keys, but land sightings didn't match. Other pilots in the squadron also reported compass failures. Their transmissions became confused, fragmented, filled with disoriented queries about direction. The chilling atmosphere in the control tower at Fort Lauderdale must have been palpable. They heard the pilots' growing distress, the escalating confusion, the desperate attempts to orient themselves. We don't know where we are. Everything is ... strange. It looks like we are entering white water ... nothing seems right. These were among the last coherent words. Attempts to guide them back to base proved futile. The signals grew weaker, then ceased entirely. Flight 19 had vanished. The unsettling climax of this disappearance came swiftly. A Martin PBM Mariner flying boat, a robust rescue aircraft with a 13-man crew, was immediately dispatched to search for Flight 19. 2 hours into its mission, the Mariner, too, vanished. Its last known transmission reported clear weather conditions. But then, a sudden, explosive silence. Later investigations suggested a possible explosion of its fuel vapors, but no wreckage was ever found, making its disappearance almost as mysterious as the initial squadrons. What truly happened to Flight 19 and its rescue plane? The official Navy report cited causes or reasons unknown, a chilling admission of defeat. Was it an extraordinary series of navigational errors, compounded by compass malfunctions and disorientation? Was it sudden, extreme weather phenomena? Perhaps rogue waves or waterspouts that rose and fell without a trace? Could it be a pocket of magnetic anomalies, disorienting instruments and pilots alike? Or do the legends speak of something far more profound and terrifying, an unseen vortex, a tear in the fabric of reality, a powerful energy field, or even extraterrestrial interference that pulls ships and planes into an abyssal void? The lack of wreckage, the sheer scale of the disappearance, and the consistent pattern of similar unexplained losses in the region transformed the Bermuda Triangle into a potent symbol of the unexplained, and so, as the phantom hum of Flight 19's engines fades into the silence, we are left with the haunting echo of its vanished presence. Their disappearance is a stark reminder that even in the modern age, the Earth holds secrets beyond our current grasp, that the vastness of the ocean can swallow proof without a trace. In the long, forgotten nights did the whispers of lost pilots truly call from a strange, white water, their fate forever an unsolved enigma, a chilling lullaby from a time when the very air and sea could claim souls without a trace. The profound absence speaks volumes, a terrifying testament to an enduring mystery of the deep. Chapter 11. The Voynich Manuscript and the Language of Shadows. Did an ancient mind truly record forbidden knowledge in an unbreakable cipher, or is it a masterful deception, a haunting whisper from a lost era refusing to yield its secrets? Our journey now takes us into the labyrinthine corridors of forgotten libraries and the hushed realms of secret societies, to confront one of history's most persistent and baffling enigmas, the Voynich Manuscript. This isn't merely an old book. It is an illustrated codex, penned in an unknown script, filled with bizarre drawings of plants that don't exist, astronomical diagrams that defy known constellations, and strange, bathing women. For centuries, it has resisted all attempts at decryption, a silent, mocking challenge to the keenest minds. Our story begins sometime between 1404 and 1438, a period of profound intellectual ferment and hidden knowledge in Europe. The manuscript, named after Wilfrid Voynich, the Polish book dealer who acquired it in 1912, is a parchment volume of roughly 240 pages. Its origins are shrouded in mystery, passing through the hands of emperors, alchemists, and scholars, each leaving their mark of frustration upon its enigmatic pages. Imagine the scholar, hunched over the Voynich manuscript in a dimly lit chamber, the flickering candlelight casting dancing shadows across its peculiar illustrations. He pores over the elegant, flowing script, its characters unique, unlike any known alphabet. He tries to discern patterns, repetitions, any hint of linguistic structure, but the language remains utterly impenetrable. It is statistical analysis, word frequency, character distributional, the tools of cryptography that reveal it possesses the characteristics of a natural language. Yet it stubbornly refuses to be read. The illustrations themselves deepen the mystery. Botanical sections depict plants that bear no resemblance to any known species, seemingly plucked from a dream or a fantastical realm. Astronomical charts show celestial bodies arranged in patterns that do not align with any known constellations or cosmological models of the time. The balneological section depicts tiny, naked women bathing in elaborate, interconnected pools, their forms almost surreal in their strangeness. The pharmacological section shows jars and remedies, but for what ailments, derived from what fantastical ingredients? The unsettling climax of the Voynich manuscript lies in its persistent, tormenting inscription. Is it a genuine language, a forgotten tongue of a lost civilization, or a complex cipher encoding a profound, perhaps heretical, text? Or is it something else entirely, a masterful hoax, a brilliant piece of art designed to fool wealthy patrons, a whimsical collection of nonsense meant to entertain? Each theory holds its own chilling implications. If it is a true language, what forgotten wisdom or terrifying secrets does it hold? If it is a hoax, its creator was a genius beyond compare, capable of crafting a deception that has stumped generations of cryptographers, linguists, and historians, including top code breakers from both world wars. The parchment is authentic, carbon dated to the early 15th century. The ink and pigments are consistent with the period, but the meaning remains elusive. It stands as a profound testament to the limits of human understanding, a silent, mocking challenge to our relentless desire for knowledge, and so, as the phantom, whispers of the Voynich manuscript's unread pages fade into the silence, we are left with the haunting echo of its unbreakable code. Its existence is a stark reminder that some enigmas defy all logical assault, that the past can hold secrets too complex to unravel, or too carefully guarded to be revealed. In the long forgotten nights of the Dark Ages and beyond, did the scribe, who penned this strange text, truly believe he was recording forbidden knowledge? Or was he weaving a masterful deception, a chilling lullaby from a time when the very act of writing could create an insoluble mystery? The silence of its unread words speaks volumes, a profound testament to a riddle that time refuses to solve. Chapter 12. The Pictish stones and the unspoken tongues. Did the ancient stones truly speak of forgotten gods and vanished kingdoms? Or were their cryptic carvings a silent language, a chilling echo from a lost people whose very voices were swallowed by the mist? Our journey now takes us to the windswept, rain-swept lands of ancient Scotland, a realm of wild beauty and profound mystery. Here, scattered across the landscape, stand the enigmatic Pictish stones, monumental slabs of rough-hewn rock, intricately carved with a bewildering array of symbols, beasts, and scenes. These aren't just art. They are the sole surviving whispers of the Picts, a fierce and enigmatic people whose language, culture, and very identity vanished into the mists of the Dark Ages. Our story unfolds from the 6th to the 9th centuries, a period when the Picts, a confederation of tribes, dominated much of northern and eastern Scotland. They were a formidable force, famously resisting Roman conquest. Their name derived from the Latin picti, meaning painted ones, perhaps referring to their practice of tattooing or body paint. Yet, despite their power, they left behind almost no written records, no detailed chronicles of their kings, their battles, or their daily lives. Their most enduring legacy is etched into these silent, sentinel stones. Imagine the ancient Pictish artisan, hunched over a towering slab of sandstone in the harsh Scottish weather, meticulously chiseling intricate patterns. He carves crescent, moons, virods, double discs, serpents, swimming elephants, and mirror-andcom symbols, alongside detailed depictions of warriors, horses, and Christian crosses. These symbols are unique, unlike anything found elsewhere. They are clearly organized, often in pairs or sequences, suggesting a symbolic language, a complex system of communication. But what do they mean? Are they clan symbols, records of lineage, astronomical observations, religious iconography, or a form of proto-writing, a silent script that only the initiated could read? The atmosphere around these stones, often standing in desolate moorlands or ancient burial grounds, is one of profound, haunting mystery. They feel like silent guardians, witnesses to a vanished world. The unsettling climax of the Pictish stones lies in the utter impenetrability of their symbolic language. Despite centuries of archaeological and linguistic study, no definitive Rosetta Stone has been found to unlock their meaning. Scholars have proposed countless theories, but none have achieved widespread acceptance. The lack of corresponding written texts from the Picts themselves means there is no key to decode their visual lexicon. The Picts, a powerful kingdom, seemingly vanished around the 9th or 10th century, absorbed by the emerging kingdom of Alba, the precursor to Scotland, speaking the Gaelic language, their own tongue, a mysterious Celtic language related to ancient Gaulish or Brythonic, simply died out, unrecorded and unremembered. Their distinct cultural identity dissolved. All that remains are these silent stones, their symbols taunting us with their hidden meanings, a profound enigma etched into the very landscape. What was the message they sought to convey to future generations? Did they foretell doom, record triumphs, or simply mark sacred spaces? The silence of their stones speaks volumes, a chilling testimony to a culture that left behind a haunting visual riddle, their voices forever muted, their meanings lost to the swirling mists of time. And so, as the phantom whispers of the Pictish stones fade into the silence, we are left with the haunting echo of their unspoken tongues. Their existence is a stark reminder that entire cultures can vanish without a trace, leaving behind only tantalizing clues that refuse to yield their deeper secrets. In the long forgotten nights of the Dark Ages, did the artisans who carved these symbols truly believe they were communicating across time, or were they creating an enigma? A chilling lullaby from a time when the very language of a people could become an insoluble mystery, forever etched into the silent stone. The profound silence of their meaning speaks volumes, a testament to a vanished voice. Chapter 13. The disappearance of the Olmec civilization and the colossal heads. Did a mighty civilization simply melt into the humid air, or were their colossal, brooding effigies left as a silent, terrifying warning of an ecological collapse, an enigma swallowed by the encroaching jungle? Our journey now takes us to the sweltering, verdant lowlands of Mesoamerica, to the heartland of what is often considered the mother civilization of the Americas, the Olmec, flourishing from roughly 1400 BCE to 400 BCE. They laid the cultural groundwork for all subsequent great Mesoamerican societies, the Maya, the Zapotic, the Aztec. Yet, after centuries of remarkable achievement, they mysteriously vanished, leaving behind giant, enigmatic stone heads as their most enduring and baffling legacy. Our story begins in the humid, fertile river valleys of modern-day Veracruz and Tabasco, Mexico. Here, the Olmec developed complex urban centers like San Lorenzo and La Venta, pioneering sophisticated agricultural techniques, long-distance trade networks, and a unique artistic style. They were masters of monumental sculpture, especially known for their awe-inspiring, colossal, heads-massive basalt carvings, some weighing over 40 tons, depicting helmeted male faces with distinctive thick features. These colossal visages, transported from distant quarries over immense distances, silently proclaimed their power and the remarkable engineering feats of their creators. Imagine the vibrant life of an Olmec city, the constant chatter of markets, the rhythmic thud of stone tools, the murmur of rituals in grand plazas, all under the watchful gaze of the colossal heads, their features stern and unyielding. Then, sometime around 400 BCE, a profound silence descended. The great Olmec centers, meticulously planned and painstakingly built, were abandoned. Their elaborate artistry ceased. Their distinctive culture, which had radiated influence across Mesoamerica, simply faded away. It was not a violent conquest. There is no widespread evidence of devastating wars or massacres. It was a gradual, yet complete, cessation. The unsettling climax of the Olmec disappearance lies in the persistent, tormenting ambiguity of its cause. What compelled this mighty civilization to abandon its heartland and vanish from the historical record? Was it a series of devastating environmental changes? Perhaps prolonged droughts or catastrophic floods that rendered their agricultural lands unusable? Was it a subtle but relentless shift in river courses, disrupting their vital trade routes and water supply? Or could it have been internal strife, social unrest, or the gradual depletion of natural resources like the basalt for their sculptures or the obsidian for their tools, leading to a slow, inevitable decline? The colossal heads remain silent and enigmatic, gazing out from the jungle, their features hinting at forgotten leaders or deities. Were they left as a warning, a monument to a civilization that pushed its environment too far, or simply abandoned in the face of insurmountable challenges? The true reason for their demise remains elusive, forever shrouded in the dense, encroaching foliage of the jungle. A profound enigma that speaks of the fragility of even the most powerful human constructs when faced with the relentless power of nature and the unpredictable currents of history. And so, as the phantom whispers of the Olmec cities fade into the humid air, we are left with the haunting echo of their colossal, brooding effigies. Their disappearance is a stark reminder that even the most innovative civilizations can vanish without a trace, their secrets swallowed by the relentless advance of the natural world in the long-forgotten nights of the dark ages of the Americas. Did the spirits of the Olmec truly linger in the shadows of their giant heads, their fate forever an unsolved enigma, a chilling lullaby from a time when the very earth could reclaim its human creations, leaving only silent, stony witnesses? The profound silence of their abandoned cities speaks volumes, a testament to the fleeting nature of power. Chapter 14. The Bog Bodies and the Sacrifice to the Silent Earth. Did the dark, whispering bogs truly claim human lives as accidental victims? Or were they consecrated places of unspeakable ritual, demanding a profound sacrifice to silent gods beneath the shifting surface? Our journey now takes us to the eerie, desolate peat bogs of northern Europe, spanning from Ireland and Britain to Denmark and Germany. These are not merely wetlands. They are cold, silent, acidic vaults of time, preserving bodies with an almost terrifying fidelity, transforming flesh into leathery, dark effigies, speaking of lives lived and brutally ended in the Iron Age, often leaving their purpose a profound and chilling enigma. Our story begins over 2 millennia ago, in the Iron Age, a time of profound reverence for nature, of powerful, often capricious, deities, and of communities deeply intertwined with the land. For reasons still debated, hundreds of individuals met their end in these desolate bogs. When discovered, sometimes by peat cutters centuries later, these bog bodies emerge with an unsettling realism, their skin leathery and darkened, their hair and fingernails often perfectly preserved, their last expressions etched onto their faces. They are not merely skeletons. They are almost perfectly preserved individuals, silent witnesses to ancient violence. Imagine the scene: a mist-shrouded bog, the ground soft and treacherous, the air thick with the scent of decaying vegetation. A figure, perhaps bound, perhaps with a noose around their neck, is led to the dark, peaty water. The methods of death are often brutal and deliberate: throats cut, heads bashed, bodies repeatedly stabbed, or ritualistically grotted. Some show signs of multiple methods of execution, as if to ensure their demise. Many appear to have been placed in the bog with great care, sometimes weighted down with stones or branches, deliberately pushed below the surface to be swallowed by the cold. Preservative depths. The chilling atmosphere surrounding the bog bodies is one of profound, ritualistic intent. Why were these individuals chosen? Were they executed criminals, victims of tribal warfare, or, most chillingly, human sacrifices offered to unseen deities of the bog to ensure good harvests, to appease angry gods, or to ward off famine and disease? The presence of certain ritualistic elements, last meals of hallucinogenic plants found in stomachs, meticulous placement of bodies, the absence of defensive wounds on some strongly suggests a sacrificial purpose. The unsettling climax of the bog body's tale lies in the persistent, tormenting ambiguity of their purpose. While some may have been unfortunate accidents or summary executions, the sheer number of victims, the consistent patterns of violent, ritualistic deaths, and their careful placement in the bogs point overwhelmingly towards a sacred, albeit horrifying, practice. They were not merely buried, they were deposited, consecrated, offered to the silent earth gods of the bog. The exact deities, the specific reasons for each individual sacrifice, and the precise rituals performed remain elusive, forever shrouded in the dark, acidic waters that preserved them. These silent figures, emerging from the peat as if awakened from a long nightmare, challenge our understanding of ancient beliefs and the brutal realities of human sacrifice. They are not victims to be mourned in the conventional sense, but echoes of a time when the boundary between life and death was blurred, and the natural world demanded a terrifying tribute. And so, as the phantom whispers of the bog bodies fade into the silence, we are left with the haunting echo of their desperate, ritualistic sacrifice. Their preservation is a stark reminder that the earth itself can hold profound, chilling secrets, and that ancient beliefs could demand the ultimate, most horrifying price. In the long, forgotten nights of the Dark Ages, did the spirits of those offered to the bog truly linger in the mist, their fate forever an unsolved enigma, a chilling lullaby from a time when the silent earth demanded its brutal, sacred tribute? The profound stillness of the bogs speaks volumes, a testament to unyielding faith and terrifying violence. Chapter 15. The mystery of the Shroud of Turin and the Face of Agony. Did an ancient linen cloth truly bear the miraculous, haunting imprint of a crucified man, a silent testimony from the very dawn of Christianity? Or is it a masterful deception, a haunting whisper from a medieval hand, meant to inspire faith or deceive the faithful? Our journey now takes us into the hushed, hallowed chambers of sacred art and fervent belief, to confront one of history's most debated and emotionally charged enigmas, the Shroud of Turin. This isn't merely an ancient relic, it is a linen cloth, 14 feet long, bearing the faint, negative image of a crucified man, replete with what appeared to be bloodstains and whip marks. For centuries, it has been revered by millions as the authentic burial cloth of Jesus Christ. Yet its origins and authenticity remain fiercely contested. Our story begins in the medieval period, with the first undisputed historical records of the shroud appearing in the mid-14th century in Liry, France. It quickly gained fame, attracting pilgrims with its mysterious image, which appears far more detailed and realistic in photographic negative than in its natural stata phenomenon. Unknown until the advent of photography in the 19th century, this eerie characteristic only deepened its mystique. Imagine the hushed awe of medieval pilgrims gazing upon the shroud, illuminated by flickering candlelight in a dimly lit chapel. They would see the faint, almost ghostly outline of a man, his face serene yet bearing the marks of profound suffering, his body covered in what appeared to be bloodstains consistent with crucifixion wounds. The power of the image, its ability to evoke profound devotion and spiritual connection, was undeniable. For believers, it was a tangible link to the suffering of Christ, a miraculous relic. The atmosphere around the shroud has always been charged with intense emotion and fervent belief. But it has also been a magnet for scientific scrutiny and skeptical inquiry. The unsettling climax of the Shroud of Turin's tale lies in the persistent, tormenting ambiguity surrounding its authenticity. Is it truly a relic from the 1st century, bearing a miraculously formed image, a silent testament to the resurrection? Or is it a medieval forgery, a masterful work of art created by a brilliant, unknown artisan, designed to inspire faith and pilgrimage? Scientific analysis has yielded conflicting and often controversial results. In 1978, the Shroud of Turin Research Project STURP, an interdisciplinary team of American scientists, conducted extensive tests. Their findings were complex. They confirmed the image was not painted by hand in any conventional sense, and the blood appeared to be real human blood. Yet, they could not explain how the image was formed. Then, in 1988, carbon-14 dating tests were conducted by 3 independent laboratories, placing the shroud's origin between 1260 and 1390 AD, firmly in the medieval period, suggesting it was a forgery. However, even this carbon dating has been challenged, with arguments about contamination, medieval repairs, or the specific sample taken. The exact method of image formation, if it is indeed a medieval creation, remains an unsolved enigma. How could a medieval artisan, without the knowledge of photography, create such a complex, negative image with anatomical precision, complete with a 3-dimensional quality? No known medieval artistic technique explains it. This paradox continues to fuel both belief and skepticism. And so, as the faint, haunting image on the Shroud of Turin fades into the silence, we are left with the enduring echo of its profound mystery. Its very existence is a stark reminder that some enigmas defy simple explanation, that the past can hold secrets too complex to unravel, or too sacred to be fully understood. In the long-forgotten nights of the Dark Ages and beyond, did the medieval artisan who created this image truly believe he was crafting a sacred deception? Or was he merely a channel for a phenomenon beyond his own understanding, a chilling lullaby from a time when the very fabric of belief could become an insoluble mystery, imprinted with the face of agony? The silence of its image speaks volumes, a testament to faith and a profound unsolved riddle. Chapter 16. The Viking Sunstone and the lost Polarist. That the ancient Norse mariners truly wield a mythical crystal, guiding them across boundless oceans with invisible light, or was it a lost navigational marvel, a chilling enigma that allowed them to pierce the veil of fog and cloud, reaching distant, unknown shores? Our journey now takes us to the tempestuous, mist-shrouded waters of the North Atlantic, to the epic age of the Vikings. These were not merely brutal raiders, they were master mariners, capable of navigating vast, open stretches of ocean, reaching distant lands like Iceland, Greenland, and even North America, centuries before Columbus. Yet, their methods of navigation, particularly in cloudy or foggy conditions, remain one of the most intriguing puzzles of the Dark Ages. Our story begins in the 9th or 10th century, a time when the sun, moon, and stars were the primary guides for seafarers. But what happened when the sky was obscured for days on end, when the pole star vanished behind a relentless veil of clouds, or when the long northern twilight made traditional celestial navigation impossible? The sagas, ancient Norse epic poems, speak of a mysterious artifact, the Sunstone Solarstein in Old Norse. This enigmatic stone was said to allow navigators to find the sun's position, even on an overcast day, guiding them unerringly across the trackless seas. Imagine the scene: a Viking longship, its single square sail billowing, cutting through the cold, grey swells of the North Atlantic. The sky is a uniform, unbroken expanse of cloud, the sun's position utterly obscured. The crew, hardened by countless voyages, begins to feel the familiar dread of being lost at sea, of drifting endlessly in the vast featureless expanse. Then, the navigator, perhaps a grizzled veteran with eyes that have seen 1,000 horizons, brings forth the sunstone. The descriptions in the sagas are tantalizingly vague. Some speak of a stone held up to the sky, which would show a spot of light, even through the clouds. Others imply it was used to find the sun's azimuth, its direction when it was below the horizon, extending the period of daylight navigation. The unsettling climax of the Viking sunstone's tale lies in the persistent, tormenting ambiguity of its true nature. What kind of crystal possessed such a magical property? Was it merely a mythical element, a poetic flourish in the sagas, or was it a genuine, lost piece of navigational technology, a profound enigma of ancient optics? Modern scientific research has offered compelling theories. The most widely accepted candidate for the sunstone is Icelandic spar, a transparent form of calcite crystal. When held up to the sky, Icelandic spar exhibits a phenomenon called birefringence. It splits light into two distinct rays, creating a double image. If a piece of Icelandic spar is rotated while looking through it at the sky, the double image will merge into one when the crystal is aligned with the sun's invisible rays, even through dense cloud cover. This optical property would allow a navigator to pinpoint the sun's exact direction, even when it was hidden. Experiments with modern replicas have demonstrated its remarkable accuracy, but if Icelandic spar was indeed the sunstone, how widely known was its use? Was it a universal tool, or a closely guarded secret passed down through generations of elite navigators? Why did the knowledge of its use seemingly vanish with the end of the Viking Age? Was it a deliberate suppression of knowledge, or simply a skill that fell into disuse as other navigational methods emerged, or as the age of long-distance voyages waned? And so, as the phantom whispers of the Viking sunstone fade into the silence, we are left with the haunting echo of its lost light. Its disappearance is a stark reminder that some of humanity's most ingenious creations can vanish without a trace, their secrets swallowed by the very passage of time. In the long-forgotten nights of the Dark Ages, did the Norse mariners truly wield a mythical crystal, guiding them across boundless oceans, or was it a lost navigational marvel, a chilling lullaby from a time when a crystal held the key to unlocking the secrets of the sky, even in its deepest obscurity? The profound mystery of its guidance speaks volumes, a testament to ancient ingenuity and a chilling enigma of exploration. Chapter 17. The Fate of the Knights Templar and the Whispers of Goldid. A powerful holy order truly vanish into the cruel embrace of persecution and fire, or does their enigmatic legacy conceal a hidden treasure, a chilling secret whispered through centuries of darkness and whispered betrayal? Our journey now takes us to the heart of medieval Europe, to the crucible of faith and power, where the most formidable and enigmatic military religious order, the Knights Templar, rose to unprecedented wealth and influence, only to fall victim to a sudden, brutal, and inexplicable purge. This wasn't merely the suppression of a monastic order. It was a profound enigma, a chilling conspiracy that continues to tantalize with whispers of hidden gold and sacred knowledge. Our story begins in the early 12th century. Born from the fervor of the Crusades, the Knights Templar were founded to protect pilgrims traveling to the Holy Land. Their dedication, discipline, and ferocity in battle quickly earned them immense respect. But it was their banking operations that truly set them apart. They developed a sophisticated system of credit, becoming the first international bankers, amassing vast wealth in lands, castles, and precious metals across Europe. Their white mantles, emblazoned with a red cross, became a symbol of both spiritual purity and immense temporal power. Imagine the atmosphere in a Templar preceptory, the hushed reverence of prayer mingling with the clatter of armor, the quiet counting of vast sums of gold, the intricate scribbling of financial ledgers. Their networks spanned the continent, making them indispensable to kings and popes alike. Yet, their very wealth, their independence, and their secretive rituals began to breed resentment and fear. Kings, deeply indebted to them, looked upon their riches with covetous eyes. The chilling climax of the Templars' fate began on Friday, October 13th, 1307. King Philip IV of France, heavily indebted to the Templars and eager to seize their assets, launched a coordinated, surprise arrest of all Templars in France, accusing them of heresy, idolatry, sodomy, and blasphemy. These charges, likely fabricated under duress and torture, were designed to justify their persecution and confiscation of their vast wealth. The knights were rounded up, imprisoned, and subjected to horrific torture, many confessing to false charges under unimaginable duress. But here lies the profound enigma. Despite the vastness of their accumulated wealth, gold, silver, jewels, remarkably little was recovered. When Philip's agents seized the Templar treasuries, they found them suspiciously empty. Legend immediately arose. The Templars had managed to hide their legendary treasure. Did a small, dedicated group of loyalists, forewarned of the impending arrests, manage to spirit away wagons full of gold, priceless artifacts, and perhaps even sacred relics, vanishing into the night? The Grand Master, Jacques de Mar, and many other high-ranking Templars refused to recant their forced confessions, and were burned at the stake. Before his death, de Mar famously cursed the king and the pope. The order was officially disbanded by Pope Clement V in 1312, their remaining assets transferred to the Knights Hospitaller, but the vast majority of their legendary wealth remained missing. Countless tales emerged. The treasure was buried on an island, hidden in a secret vault beneath a church, or carried by Templar ships to distant, unknown lands like Scotland or Portugal, where they subtly re-emerged under different names. And so, as the phantom whispers of the Knights Templar fade into the silence, we are left with the haunting echo of their hidden gold. Their disappearance is a stark reminder that power can be fleeting, and secrets can be guarded with chilling determination, even beyond the grave. In the long-forgotten nights of the Dark Ages and beyond, did the loyal Templars truly carry a hidden treasure into the shadows, their secret forever an unsolved enigma? A chilling lullaby from a time when the very pursuit of wealth and power could demand the ultimate sacrifice and weave a legend of unrecovered gold. The profound absence of their riches speaks volumes, a testament to a mystery that still tantalizes with whispers of untold fortune. Chapter 18. The lost army of Cambyses and the sands of oblivion. Did a mighty conquering force truly vanish into the unforgiving embrace of the desert, swallowed by vast, shifting sands? Or does its very existence hold a dark warning, a chilling enigma wrapped in the brutal might of a pharaoh's hubris? Our journey now takes us to the blazing, endless expanse of the western desert of Egypt, a realm where the sun is a merciless eye and the wind sculpts dunes into ever-shifting monuments. Here, over 2 millennia ago, an entire Persian army, numbering tens of thousands, marched into the void, never to be seen again. This was the haunting enigma of the lost army of Cambyses, a colossal military force swallowed by the very land it sought to conquer. Our story begins in 525 BCE. Cambyses II, the ambitious and sometimes tyrannical king of Persia, had just conquered Egypt, adding it to his vast Achaemenid empire. Legend has it that his next target was the Oracle of Ammon at Siwa Oasis, deep in the western desert, a place of immense spiritual significance. Whether motivated by conquest, a desire to quell religious dissent, or simply to consolidate his power, Cambyses dispatched a massive army of 50,000 soldiers from Thebes' modern-day Luxor to destroy the oracle. Imagine the scene, a colossal army, a vast river of humanity stretching across the arid landscape. Thousands of Persian warriors, their armor glinting under the scorching sun, their camels laden with supplies, their footsteps raising clouds of dust. They would have marched for days, perhaps weeks, across the featureless expanse, relying on desert guides and scattered oases. The silence of the desert would have been profound, broken only by the rhythmic tramp of feet, the creak of camel saddles, and the strained breathing of men. According to the Greek historian Herodotus, writing a century later, the army marched for 7 days, reaching the oasis of El-Ka. From there, they set out for Siwa, but they never reached their destination. Somewhere between El-Kaga and Siwa, a terrifying natural phenomenon descended upon them. Herodotus writes that as they were in the midst of their journey, a great sandstorm arose from the south, violent and deadly, which entirely covered them with its heaps of sand. They were buried alive, every single man, horse, and beast of burden, swallowed by the desert itself. The unsettling climax of the lost army of Cambyses lies in the persistent, tormenting lack of definitive archaeological evidence. Despite extensive searches by modern archaeologists and adventurers, no large-scale military encampment, no mass grave, no scattered remains of 50,000 soldiers have ever been definitively found in the presumed path of Cambyses' ill-fated expedition. The sheer scale of the disappearance, the meticulous historical record of Herodotus, and the utter lack of physical proof create a profound enigma. What truly happened? Was Herodotus's account an exaggeration, a cautionary tale woven from local legends? Did the army simply desert, their resolve broken by the harshness of the desert? Or did the sandstorm indeed descend, so vast and powerful that it consumed every trace, burying an entire army so deeply that their resting place remains lost to the shifting sands, a monument to the desert's unforgiving power? The very absence of evidence, in this case, becomes the most chilling testament. And so, as the phantom whispers of the lost army of Cambyses fade into the silence, we are left with the haunting echo of their vanished presence. Their disappearance is a stark reminder that even the mightiest armies can be humbled by the enigmatic, overwhelming forces of nature, swallowed by the very land they sought to traverse. In the long, forgotten nights of the Dark Ages, did the desert winds truly carry the desperate cries of those buried alive? Their fate forever an unsolved enigma, a chilling lullaby from a time when the sands themselves held secrets too profound for human understanding. The profound silence of the vast desert speaks volumes, a testament to imperial hubris and a chilling enigma of oblivion. Chapter 19. The silent stones of Easter Island and the vanished civilization. Did a distant, isolated civilization truly vanish into the silence of its own making, consumed by its towering idols? Or do the haunting, enigmatic faces of the Moai whisper a chilling warning of a profound ecological collapse, an enigma etched into the very stones of a remote island? Our journey now takes us to the most isolated inhabited island on Earth, a tiny volcanic speck in the vast Pacific Ocean, almost equidistant from South America and Tahiti, Easter Island or Rapa Nui. Here, over centuries, a remarkable civilization carved enormous, brooding stone statues, the Moai, only to seemingly disappear, leaving behind their colossal, silent effigies as a testament to their rise and their mysterious fall. Our story begins around 9001-0000, when Polynesian voyagers, after incredible journeys across the open ocean, discovered and settled Rapa Nui. In this fertile, forested paradise, they built a thriving society, developing a complex culture, an intriguing pictographic script, still undeciphered, and, most famously, an obsession with carving the moi. These colossal statues, some over 30 feet tall and weighing 80 tons, were carved from volcanic rock, then transported and erected on ceremonial platforms around the island, often facing inland, perhaps representing deified ancestors or chiefs watching over their people. Imagine the atmosphere during the Moai's creation, the rhythmic chipping of stone tools, the grunts and chants of hundreds of workers slowly dragging the colossal figures across the landscape, the palpable sense of spiritual devotion and cultural pride. For centuries, this island society flourished, their population growing, their artistry reaching monumental scales. Then, a profound silence began to descend. By the time European explorers first arrived in the 18th century, Rapa Nui was a shadow of its former self. Most of the Moai had been toppled, trees were almost entirely absent, and the population had drastically declined. The unsettling climax of Easter Island's tale lies in the persistent, tormenting ambiguity of its civilization's demise. What happened to the Rapa Nui people, and why did they seemingly abandon their monumental project and fall into disarray? The most widely accepted theory points to a catastrophic ecological collapse, the relentless felling of trees for timber, fuel, and for the rollers and levers needed to transport the Moai, led to widespread deforestation. This, in turn, caused soil erosion, loss of agricultural productivity, and a collapse of their delicate ecosystem. Without trees, they could no longer build canoes for fishing or escape, trapping them on their rapidly degrading island. But was it simply ecological folly, or were other forces at play? Could internal conflicts, tribal warfare over dwindling resources, or even the devastating impact of introduced diseases from early European contact have contributed to their sudden decline? The toppled Moai suggests civil unrest, perhaps a deliberate overturning of symbols of power during a period of intense societal breakdown. The true reason for their demise remains elusive, a complex interplay of environmental pressures and human choices. The Moai remain, silent and brooding, some still standing, others toppled and broken, gazing out at a changed world. They are a haunting warning, a testament to the fragility of human societies when faced with the relentless power of environmental degradation and the consequences of unsustainable practices. And so, as the phantom whispers of Easter Islands, vanished civilization fade into the silence, we are left with the haunting echo of its colossal, silent stones. Their existence is a stark reminder that even the most ingenious cultures can vanish into the void, leaving behind only tantalizing clues etched into the very land they once shaped. In the long, forgotten nights of the dark ages of the Pacific, did the Moai truly watch over their doomed creators, their fate forever an unsolved enigma, a chilling lullaby from a time when the very stones themselves bore witness to a profound ecological tragedy? The profound silence of their features speaks volumes, a testament to hubris and a chilling enigma of environmental destruction. Chapter 20. The Disappearance of the Indus Valley Civilization and the Rivers Betrayed. Did a vast, sophisticated civilization simply vanish into the earth, absorbed by its own dust? Or was it a profound betrayal by the very lifeblood that sustained it, a chilling enigma swallowed by the shifting currents of a forgotten river? Our journey now takes us to the sprawling ancient plains of the Indian subcontinent, to the realm of the Indus Valley Civilization, also known as the Harappan Civilization, flourishing from approximately 2500 BCE to 1900 BCE. This was one of the three great early civilizations of the Old World, alongside Mesopotamia and ancient Egypt. Yet, after centuries of remarkable achievement, it mysteriously declined and largely disappeared, leaving behind only the enigmatic ruins of its meticulously planned cities. Our story begins in the fertile river valleys of modern-day Pakistan and northwest India. Here, the Harappans built highly organized urban centers like Mohenjo-Daro and Harappa, characterized by sophisticated urban planning, advanced drainage systems, multi-story brick houses, and a distinctive, undeciphered script. They were masters of trade, craftsmanship, and hydraulic engineering. Their cities a testament to a level of social organization and urban foresight unmatched for millennia. Imagine the vibrant life of a Harappan city, the orderly bustle of its wide streets, the cool relief of its public baths, the rhythmic thud of artisans at work, the silent efficiency of its sanitation systems, all thriving along the banks of the mighty Indus River and its tributaries. For centuries, this civilization flourished, its population growing, its culture radiating influence. Then, sometime around 1900 BCE, a profound silence began to descend. The great cities began to decline, trade networks collapsed, and by 1800 BCE, most of the major urban centers were largely abandoned. It was not a violent, sudden end. There is no widespread evidence of devastating invasions or widespread massacres. It was a gradual, yet complete, cessation. The unsettling climax of the Indus Valley Civilization's disappearance lies in the persistent, tormenting ambiguity of its demise. What compelled this mighty, prosperous civilization to abandon its heartland and vanish from the historical record? The most widely accepted theories point to a catastrophic environmental shift, a profound betrayal by the very river system that sustained it. One leading theory suggests that the Gaga-Hakra river system, which may have been a major water source for many Harappan cities, began to dry up or changed course dramatically due to tectonic plate shifts. The very lifeblood of their civilization simply vanished, rendering vast swathes of their agricultural land infertile and their cities unsustainable. But was it solely environmental? Could other forces have been at play? Was it prolonged droughts, causing widespread famine and social unrest? Could it have been internal decline, a breakdown of centralized authority, or a weakening of trade networks? Or perhaps the gradual shift of the monsoon patterns, leading to less predictable rainfall and agricultural instability? The decipherment of their intricate script, still an unsolved enigma, might hold clues to their worldview, their challenges, and their eventual fate. The ruins of Mohenjo-Daro and Harappa remain, silent and enigmatic. Their meticulously planned streets and advanced drainage systems standing as a haunting testament to a vanished people. They whisper a chilling warning of a civilization utterly reliant on its natural environment, a society swallowed by the shifting currents of a forgotten river. And so, as the phantom whispers of the Indus Valley civilization fade into the dust, we are left with the haunting echo of its vanished cities. Their disappearance is a stark reminder that even the most advanced and organized cultures can vanish without a trace, their secrets swallowed by the relentless advance of nature. In the long, forgotten nights of the dark ages of the ancient world, did the spirits of the Harappans truly linger in the parched riverbeds, their fate forever an unsolved enigma, a chilling lullaby from a time when the very rivers could betray a civilization, leaving only silent architectural witnesses to a profound environmental tragedy. The profound silence of their abandoned cities speaks volumes, a testament to both grandeur and enigmatic collapse. Chapter 21. The Lost Gold of the Confederacy and the Echoes of Ward, a Vast Fortune, the last hope of a dying cause, truly vanish into the shattered landscape of a defeated nation, spirited away by unseen hands, or does its very existence hold a dark secret, a chilling enigma wrapped in the brutal embrace of conflict and whispered deception? Our journey now takes us to the ravaged, war-torn landscape of the American South. In the brutal closing days of the Civil War, here, amidst the collapse of an empire and the desperate flight of its leaders, a legendary treasure, the lost gold of the Confederacy, mysteriously disappeared, becoming a haunting symbol of unfulfilled dreams and an enduring, tantalizing riddle. Our story begins in the spring of 1865, the Confederate States of America, having fought a bloody 4-year war, were on the verge of collapse. Richmond, the Confederate capital, was falling. President Jefferson Davis and his cabinet, along with a dwindling escort, fled southward, carrying with them what remained of the Confederate treasury, a considerable sum in gold, silver, and precious jewels, estimated to be worth millions in today's currency. This treasure was not merely wealth. It was the last symbol of a dying cause, meant to pay the remaining troops, finance continued resistance, or perhaps escape to establish a government in exile. Imagine the atmosphere during their desperate flight, the muddy roads, the constant fear of capture, the weary faces of the fleeing officials and their loyal guard. The air would be thick with desperation, the scent of gunpowder still lingering from recent battles. The Confederate gold, carried in wagons or on horseback, was a heavy burden, a tantalizing prize that drew the attention of both desperate Confederate soldiers seeking their pay and eager Union cavalry pursuing them. The treasure's journey was fraught with peril and marked by uncertainty. It passed through multiple hands, buried and reburied, split into smaller portions, each transaction shrouded in secrecy. As President Davis was finally captured in Georgia in May 1865, the bulk of the treasury seemed to simply vanish. The unsettling climax of the lost gold's tale lies in its sudden, inexplicable disappearance amidst the chaos of surrender and the dawn of a new era. What became of it? Did the last loyal custodians bury it in a hidden location, only to die before revealing its secret? Was it stolen by disgruntled soldiers, desperate for a share of the vanishing wealth, and then dispersed, lost to individual greed? Did it fall into the hands of shadowy figures, powerful individuals who quietly absorbed it into their own fortunes, ensuring its permanent disappearance from public record. Legends abound, buried alongside forgotten railroad lines, sunk in a river, hidden in obscure caves, or simply scattered by the winds of war, too numerous to track. Despite countless searches, treasure hunts, and dedicated investigations stretching over a century and a half, no significant portion of the Confederate gold has ever been definitively found. Its fate remains one of the great unsolved treasure mysteries in American history, and so, as the phantom whispers of the lost gold fade into the silence, we are left with the haunting echo of its vanished promise. Its disappearance is a stark reminder that even the most tangible treasures can be swallowed by the chaos of human conflict, becoming a haunting symbol of broken dreams and a divided past. In the long-forgotten nights did the whispers of dying soldiers truly carry the secret of its hiding place, or was it a dark deception, a chilling enigma forever bound to the brutal shadow of civil war? The absence of its gleam speaks volumes, a chilling lullaby from a time when a nation's last hope could simply vanish, leaving only a tantalizing riddle behind. Chapter 22. The Bog People of Tolland, and the smile of sacrifice did the silent, watchful. Bogs truly claim human lives as accidental victims, or were they consecrated places of unspeakable ritual, demanding a profound sacrifice to unseen gods, etched onto the very faces of the doomed? Our journey now takes us again to the eerie, desolate peat bogs of northern Europe, specifically to the cold, damp heart of ancient Denmark. Here, in the early 20th century, peat cutters unearthed bodies preserved with an almost terrifying fidelity, transforming flesh into leathery, dark effigies, speaking of lives lived and brutally ended in the Iron Age, leaving their purpose a profound and chilling enigma. Among these, the most famous is Tolland Man, whose remarkably preserved face carries an unsettling, serene expression. Despite the clear evidence of a violent death, our story begins over 2 millennia ago in the Iron Age, a time of profound reverence for nature, of powerful, often capricious deities, and of communities deeply intertwined with the land. For reasons still debated, hundreds of individuals met their end in these desolate bogs. When discovered, sometimes by those harvesting peat for fuel, these bog bodies emerge with an unsettling realism, their skin leathery and darkened, their hair and fingernails often perfectly preserved, their last expressions etched onto their faces. Tolland Man, discovered in 1950, was so well preserved that his discoverers initially thought he was a recent murder victim. Imagine the scene: a mist-shrouded bog, the ground soft and treacherous, the air thick with the scent of decaying vegetation. A figure, likely a man in his 30s, perhaps with a slight smile on his lips, is led to the dark, peaty water. Around his neck is a tightly drawn leather noose. The methods of death are often brutal and deliberate: throats cut, heads bashed, bodies repeatedly stabbed or ritualistically ground. Tolland Man's final meal, examined from his stomach contents, consisted of a porridge made from various wild seeds and grains, consumed 12 to 24 hours before his death, common pattern among other bog bodies, suggesting a specific, ritualistic last meal. The chilling atmosphere surrounding Tolland Man and others like him is one of profound, ritualistic intent. Why was this individual chosen? Was he an executed criminal, a victim of tribal warfare, or, most chillingly, a human sacrifice offered to unseen deities of the bog, to ensure good harvests, to appease angry gods, or to ward off famine and disease? The presence of certain ritualistic elements, the noose, the specific last meal, the meticulous placement of the body in the bog, often with eyes closed and a peaceful expression, strongly suggests a sacrificial purpose. He was not merely buried, he was deposited, consecrated, offered to the silent earth gods of the bog. The unsettling climax of Toland Man's tale lies in the persistent, tormenting ambiguity of his sacrifice. While some bog bodies may have been unfortunate accidents or summary executions, the sheer number of victims, the consistent patterns of violent, ritualistic deaths, and their careful placement in the bog's point overwhelmingly towards a sacred, albeit horrifying, practice. The exact deities, the specific reasons for each individual sacrifice, and the precise rituals performed remain elusive, forever shrouded in the dark, acidic waters that preserved them. These silent figures, emerging from the peat as if awakened from a long nightmare, challenge our understanding of ancient beliefs and the brutal realities of human sacrifice. They are not victims to be mourned in the conventional sense, but echoes of a time when the boundary between life and death was blurred, and the natural world demanded a terrifying tribute. And so, as the phantom whispers of Toland Man's enigmatic smile fade into the silence, we are left with the haunting echo of his desperate, ritualistic sacrifice. His preservation is a stark reminder that the earth itself can hold profound, chilling secrets, and that ancient beliefs could demand the ultimate, most horrifying price. In the long-forgotten nights of the Dark Ages, did the spirits of those offered to the bog truly linger in the mist, their fate forever an unsolved enigma, a chilling lullaby from a time when the silent earth demanded its brutal, sacred tribute? The profound stillness of the bogs speaks volumes, a testament to unyielding faith and terrifying violence. Chapter 23. The disappearance of the Maya collapse and the jungles embraced a magnificent civilization, a beacon of intellectual prowess and artistic glory, simply melt into the dense emerald embrace of the jungle, spirited away by unseen forces. Or does its profound decline whisper a chilling warning of a society consumed by its own hubris, a terrifying enigma swallowed by the relentless advance of nature? Our journey now takes us to the sweltering, verdant heart of Mesoamerica, to the realm of the classic Maya, flourishing from roughly 250 CE to 900 CE. They built colossal cities, developed a complex writing system, advanced mathematics, and sophisticated astronomy. Yet, after centuries of unparalleled achievement, they mysteriously declined, their great urban centers abandoned, their intricate culture seemingly swallowed by the encroaching jungle. Our story begins in the lush lowlands of what is now southern Mexico, Guatemala, Belize, and parts of Honduras and El Salvador. Here, the Maya constructed awe-inspiring cities like Palenque and Copan with towering pyramids, elaborate palaces, and intricate stelae commemorating the reigns of their kings. They developed a unique hieroglyphic script, precise calendars, and a profound understanding of the cosmos. Their art flourished, their trade networks thrived, and their population swelled. Imagine the vibrant life of a classic Maya city, the constant chatter of markets, the rhythmic thud of artisans at work, the murmur of rituals in grand plazas, the solemn processions of priests and nobles ascending towering pyramids, all under the watchful gaze of their astronomical observatories. For centuries, this civilization flourished, its intellect pushing the boundaries of human knowledge. Then, sometime in the 9th century CE, a profound silence began to descend. City after city was abandoned. Construction ceased. The carving of stelae, which recorded their kings and their history, abruptly stopped. The intricate infrastructure, once meticulously maintained, slowly crumbled under the relentless assault of the jungle. The unsettling climax of the Maya collapse lies in the persistent, tormenting ambiguity of its cause. What compelled this magnificent civilization to abandon its heartland and vanish from the historical record? This was not a violent conquest by an external enemy. There is no evidence of widespread invasion or devastating wars that could account for such a widespread and synchronized decline. It was a more insidious, internal disintegration. Multiple theories, often intertwined, attempt to explain this profound enigma. One leading theory points to catastrophic environmental degradation. The vast population growth may have led to unsustainable agricultural practices, extensive deforestation for fuel and building materials, causing severe soil erosion and prolonged droughts. The very sophisticated water management systems they built in a cruel twist of fate may have exacerbated the problem during prolonged dry spells. But was it solely ecological? Could other forces have been at play? Was it prolonged warfare between competing city-states, depleting resources and destabilizing trade routes? Could it have been internal social unrest, a revolt by the common people against an elite that failed to provide sustenance during times of crisis? Or perhaps a devastating wave of epidemics that swept through a weakened population? The complex interplay of these factors, rather than a single cause, likely led to their demise. The true reason for their collapse remains elusive, forever shrouded in the dense, encroaching foliage of the jungle. A profound enigma that speaks of the fragility of even the most powerful human constructs when faced with the relentless power of nature and the unpredictable currents of history. And so, as the phantom whispers of the classic Maya cities fade into the humid air, we are left with the haunting echo of their vanished glory. Their disappearance is a stark reminder that even the most innovative and intellectually advanced civilizations can vanish without a trace. Their secrets swallowed by the relentless advance of the natural world. In the long, forgotten nights of the dark ages of the Americas, did the spirits of the Maya truly linger in the shadows of their abandoned pyramids? Their fate forever an unsolved enigma, a chilling lullaby from a time when the very jungle could reclaim its human creations, leaving only silent, stony witnesses. The profound silence of their ruins speaks volumes, a testament to both grandeur and enigmatic collapse. Chapter 24. The Disappearance of Sai. The Iceman and the Arrows. Secret, did an ancient hunter truly perish from the harsh embrace of the mountains? Or does his chillingly preserved body, emerging from millennia of ice, whisper a dark tale of betrayal, a profound enigma etched by an unseen arrow? Our journey now takes us to the desolate, icy heights of the Etched Alps, on the border between modern-day Austria and Italy. Here, in 1991, a profound enigma emerged from a melting glacier, the perfectly preserved body of a copper-aged man, his last moments frozen in time, offering an unparalleled glimpse into a distant, brutal past, while simultaneously presenting a chilling, unsolved mystery surrounding his violent death. This was Sai the Iceman. Our story begins around 3300 BCE, in a world far removed from our own, a time when humans lived in intimate, often brutal, harmony with the wild. Sai, a man in his mid-40s, was walking high in the mountains. He was well-equipped, carrying a copper axe, a bow and quiver of arrows, a deerskin cloak, and even a small birch-bark container with embers for fire. He was not merely a hunter-gatherer. His tools, his clothing, and his physical condition suggested a man of skill and resourcefulness. Imagine the scene just before his death. The thin, cold air of the alpine heights, the vast, silent expanse of glaciers and jagged peaks. Perhaps seeking refuge or simply traversing the challenging terrain, suddenly encountered something terrifying. His final meal, analyzed from his stomach contents, included ibex, meat and cereals, consumed just hours before he died. Pollen analysis suggests he died in late spring or early summer. The chilling atmosphere surrounding Cece's death is one of profound, sudden violence. When discovered, his body was remarkably preserved, his skin, clothes, and even internal organs largely intact due to the unique conditions of the glacial ice. Initial assumptions were that he had simply succumbed to the cold or exhaustion, but then a more sinister truth emerged from forensic examination. An arrowhead lodged in his left shoulder, piercing a major artery, likely causing rapid blood loss and death. This was no accidental fall. This was murder. The unsettling climax of Cece's tale lies in the persistent, tormenting ambiguity of his final moments. Who shot him? Why was he killed? Was it a skirmish, a tribal conflict, an ambush from a rival hunter, or a cold-blooded murder stemming from personal animosity or betrayal? Traces of blood from at least 2 other individuals were found on his belongings, suggesting a possible struggle or a confrontation with multiple people. He also had a fresh wound on his hand, suggesting a fight just days before his death, which was partially healed. This indicates a period of conflict, perhaps a pursuit, leading up to his final, fatal encounter. Was he fleeing? Was he ambushed while resting? The absence of any other bodies, the deliberate hiding of his possessions, perhaps by himself before he succumbed, or by his killer, and the silent, unyielding face of the Iceman himself, leave his death an unsolved enigma. His body, preserved by time, offers tantalizing clues but no definitive answers. A chilling testament to a Copper Age crime that refuses to yield its secrets. And so, as the phantom whispers of Cece's final breath fade into the silent, glacial air, we are left with the haunting echo of his violent end. His preservation is a stark reminder that the very earth can hold profound, chilling secrets, and that ancient lives, however remote, can contain profound human dramas of betrayal and violence. In the long, forgotten nights, did the cold winds of the Alps truly carry the desperate cries of a man hunted? His fate forever an unsolved enigma. A chilling lullaby from a time when an arrow's secret could remain buried for millennia only, to emerge, still whispering, from the depths of time. The profound stillness of the ice speaks volumes, a testament to ancient murder and a chilling enigma of the primal world. Chapter 25. The Ghost of the Flying Dutchman and the Eternal Voyage. Did a cursed vessel truly sail the boundless, indifferent oceans, eternally condemned to roam the waves? Or is its haunting legend a chilling enigma born from the terror of relentless storms and the profound despair of maritime tragedy? Our journey now takes us to the dark, churning expanse of the open sea, a realm of unpredictable fury and endless horizons. Here, for centuries, sailors have whispered tales of the Flying Dutchman, a phantom ship eternally condemned to sail the oceans, a spectral vision that brings ill fortune to any who glimpse its ghostly sails. This isn't merely a seafaring myth. It is an enduring enigma, a chilling symbol of a sailor's worst fears, woven from the fabric of nautical lore and desperate superstitions. Our story begins in the 17th century, the golden age of sail, when ships plied the dangerous trade routes between Europe and the East. The legend typically centers around a Dutch captain, sometimes named Hendrik van der Decken or Bernard Fock, who, driven by hubris or a pact with the devil, swore to round the Cape of Good Hope during a ferocious storm, even if it took him until doomsday. His blasphemous oath, or perhaps his reckless ambition, condemned him and his ship to an eternal voyage, unable to make port, forever sailing the treacherous waters around the Cape. Imagine the scene: a lone sailing ship, battling a violent tempest. Off the infamous Cape of Good Hope, a notorious graveyard for vessels. The waves tower like mountains. The wind howls like a banshee, tearing at the rigging. The captain, defiant against the very forces of nature, pushes his ship and crew to their limits, uttering a desperate, unholy vow. Then, as if in response, a supernatural force descends, condemning the ship to its endless ghostly fate. The chilling atmosphere around the sighting of the Flying Dutchman is one of profound dread. Sailors report seeing a ghostly ship, often glowing with a strange, spectral light, sailing against the wind with sails fully set, or sometimes appearing out of nowhere in a storm, only to vanish again. The sighting of the Dutchman is almost universally regarded as an ill omen, a harbinger of doom, storm, or shipwreck for the unfortunate vessel that crosses its path. Throughout the 18th, 19th, and even 20th centuries, countless reliable witnesses, from merchant captains to Royal Navy officers, claim to have seen the phantom ship, lending an unsettling credibility to the legend. The unsettling climax of the Flying Dutchman's tale lies in the persistent, tormenting ambiguity of its true nature. Is it merely a product of folklore, a personification of the dangers of the sea, a psychological manifestation of sailors' fears? Or is there a scientific explanation for these eerie sightings? Perhaps optical illusions, like the Fata Morgana, a complex form of mirage that makes distant objects appear distorted or floating above the horizon? Or could it be a rare atmospheric phenomenon, a trick of light and cloud that creates the illusion of a ghostly ship? The consistent accounts across centuries, however, hint at something more profound than simple mirages. The enigma remains unsolved. A spectral ship forever sailing the imagination, a chilling symbol of a sailor's desperate pact with fate and the unforgiving nature of the ocean. The legend speaks to a profound human fear of being lost forever, condemned to wander without rest, a chilling testament to the power of maritime law. And so, as the phantom creak of the Flying Dutchman's masts fades into the endless silence of the sea, we are left with the haunting echo of its eternal voyage. Its existence is a stark reminder that some enigmas defy easy explanation, that the vastness of the ocean can breed legends as profound as the waves themselves. In the long, forgotten nights, did the whispers of lost sailors truly tell of a cursed ship, its fate forever an unsolved enigma, a chilling lullaby from a time when the very sea held secrets of eternal damnation and ghostly wanderings? The profound mystery of its appearance speaks volumes, a testament to superstition and a chilling enigma of the deep. Chapter 26. The disappearance of the Roanoke stone and the vanishing clues. A desperate message from a lost colony truly exist? A silent plea for help from a vanishing people, or was it a cruel deception? A haunting enigma born from the desperation of a grave robber and the shadows of a profound historical mystery. Our journey now takes us back to the untamed shores of what would become North Carolina, but this time our focus narrows to a specific controversial artifact, the Roanoke stone. A stone tablet allegedly found in 1937, purporting to be a message from Eleanor Dare, the mother of Virginia Dare, the first English child born in the lost colony of Roanoke. This wasn't merely a historical find. It was a profound enigma, promising to unlock one of America's oldest mysteries, only to vanish itself into a cloud of doubt and suspicion. Our story begins in the 1930s, nearly 350 years after the disappearance of the Roanoke colony. A stone tablet, approximately 20 pounds, was allegedly discovered near the Chowan River in North Carolina by a tourist named L.E. Hammond. The carving on the stone, in archaic English, claimed to be from Eleanor Dare, detailing the desperate struggles of the lost colonists, including attacks by Native Americans and the deaths of many, including Virginia Dare. It described their flight inland, pleading for Governor John White to return. This was, seemingly, the long-awaited answer to the mystery of Roanoke. Imagine the excitement and the fervent hope among historians and archaeologists. Finally, a tangible clue, a voice from the past, breaking the centuries of silence surrounding the lost colony. The stone was hailed as a monumental discovery. It spoke of massacre, of survival, of a tragic flight, confirming some theories and sparking new ones. More stones, seemingly from the same series, began to surface over the next few years, also reportedly found in the region, forming a chilling narrative of the colonists' desperate inland journey and their eventual demise. The chilling atmosphere surrounding the Roanoke stones soon shifted from excitement to profound suspicion. As more stones appeared, some containing increasingly fantastic details and spelling errors that seemed too convenient, scholars began to question their authenticity. The unsettling climax of the Roanoke stone's tale lies in the persistent, tormenting ambiguity of its true nature. Was it a genuine artifact, a rare and miraculous survival of a desperate message from the lost colonists? Or was it a deliberate, masterful hoax, perpetrated by opportunistic individuals seeking fame or fortune, preying on the enduring fascination with the Roanoke mystery? Detailed linguistic and historical analyses soon pointed overwhelmingly towards forgery. The archaic spelling and grammar, initially seen as authentic, were later deemed inconsistent with 16th century English. The sheer volume of stones appearing and their increasingly elaborate stories also raised red flags. The most damning evidence came when investigations revealed that L.E. Hammond, the initial discoverer, and others involved in finding subsequent stones, had a history of involvement with scams and were likely creating them. The original Eleanor Dare stone itself became inextricably linked to this larger pattern of deception. Despite the strong evidence for forgery, the initial Roanoke stone itself, and the idea of such a message, continues to hold a strange power. For a brief time, it offered a tantalizing answer to one of America's oldest mysteries, only for that answer to vanish back into the shadows of suspicion. The mystery of the stone became as profound as the mystery of the colony itself. And so, as the phantom whispers of the Roanoke stone's message fade into the silence, we are left with the haunting echo of a lost clue. Its disappearance into the realm of suspected hoaxes is a stark reminder that even the most tantalizing answers can be born of deception, and that the past can guard its secrets with a relentless silence. In the long, forgotten nights, did the desperate colonists truly leave a message carved in stone, only for it to be buried by time? Or was the very concept of its revelation a chilling lullaby from a time when truth and fabrication intertwined, creating an insoluble enigma from the shadows of a tragic disappearance? The profound silence of its authenticity speaks volumes, a testament to a riddle that remains stubbornly unsolved. Chapter 27. The mystery of the Sangsingdui culture and the alien visages. Did an ancient, secluded civilization truly emerge from an unknown past, guided by a forgotten wisdom, or were there haunting, enigmatic visages, the chilling echoes of an extraterrestrial presence, an enigma swallowed by the earth, only to be resurrected in gold and bronze? Our journey now takes us to the vast, fertile plains of Sichuan, China, a realm seemingly far removed from the traditional cradles of Chinese civilization. Here, in 1986, an astonishing discovery shattered conventional understanding of ancient Chinese history, the unearthing of two sacrificial pits filled with thousands of artifacts from the Sangsingdui culture, revealing a civilization unlike any seen before or since in China, leaving behind colossal, alien-like bronze masks and figures that continue to baffle and mystify. Our story begins around 2000 to 1200 BCE, during China's Bronze Age, while the focus of archaeology had long been on the Yellow River Valley, the supposed birthplace of Chinese civilization. The Sangsingdui site, near Guanghun, revealed a distinct, highly advanced culture that developed independently. It was a civilization with unique religious practices, sophisticated bronze casting techniques, and a peculiar artistic style that bore little resemblance to the familiar Shang or Zhou dynasties. Imagine the hushed awe, mingled with profound bewilderment, as archaeologists carefully uncovered the contents of the sacrificial pits. Thousands of objects emerged: intricate bronze vessels, jade ceremonial objects, elephant tusks. But nothing prepared them for the true enigma: a series of monumental bronze masks and figures, some towering over 8 feet tall, with strikingly non-human features. They possessed exaggerated, almond-shaped eyes, immense elongated ears, and prominent, often angular noses, sometimes covered in gold foil. These faces were not Chinese. They were otherworldly, almost alien in their appearance. The chilling atmosphere around these discoveries was one of profound disorientation. Who were these people? What was the meaning of these bizarre, grotesque visages? Were they depictions of ancient deities, powerful shamans, or perhaps even fantastical beings from another realm? The fact that these artifacts were deliberately broken and buried in pits, rather than interred in tombs, suggested a profound, ritualistic act, perhaps to consecrate, or to cleanse, or to prepare for a profound, unknown transition. The unsettling climax of the Sangsingdui culture's tale lies in the persistent, tormenting ambiguity of its origins and demise. Where did this unique culture come from? It appeared fully formed, with no clear evolutionary predecessors. In the region, and just as mysteriously, around 1200 BCE, it abruptly vanished, its sites abandoned, its distinctive artistic style disappearing from the archaeological record. There is no evidence of widespread invasion or conquest that could explain its sudden cessation. What truly happened to the Sangsingdui people? Was it an earthquake diverting the river that sustained them? Was it a deliberate relocation or a gradual absorption into other cultures, their unique identity dissolving over time? Or do the strange, alien-like visages of their bronze masks whisper of a more profound, unsettling truth, connection to forces or beings beyond earthly comprehension? A guiding presence that arrived, inspired, and then vanished, leaving behind only these enigmatic effigies. The undeciphered script found at the site, if ever translated, might hold the key to this profound mystery. And so, as the phantom whispers of the Sangsingdui culture fade into the silence, we are left with the haunting echo of its alien visages. Their existence is a stark reminder that history holds profound, unsettling secrets, that cultures can emerge and vanish in ways that defy our current understanding. In the long-forgotten nights of the dark ages of China, did the spirits of the Sang-Sing-Dui truly commune with otherworldly beings? Their fate forever an unsolved enigma, a chilling lullaby from a time when the very faces of their gods were a terrifying silent question from beyond the stars. The profound silence of their origins speaks volumes, a testament to a riddle that challenges the very foundations of ancient history. Chapter 28. The Lost City of Atlantis and the Whispers of the Deep. Did a magnificent, technologically advanced civilization truly sink beneath the crushing waves, swallowed whole by the wrath of the sea, or is its haunting legend a chilling enigma, born from the philosophical dreams of a wise man and the profound human fear of catastrophic loss? Our journey now takes us to the vast, unfathomable depths of the ocean, to a realm where sunlight never reaches and secrets are guarded by the relentless pressure of the abyss. Here, for millennia, whispers have persisted of Atlantis, a legendary island civilization, a utopian society of immense power and knowledge, that mysteriously vanished beneath the waves in a single, catastrophic day and night. This isn't merely a myth. It is an enduring enigma, a symbol of lost perfection and a cautionary tale of hubris. Our story begins not in antiquity, but in the writings of the Greek philosopher Plato. Around 360 BCE, in his dialogues, Timaeus and Critias, Plato describes Atlantis in vivid detail, a powerful and advanced island nation, boasting magnificent architecture, sophisticated engineering, and a highly organized society. Its inhabitants, originally virtuous, grew increasingly greedy and power-hungry, attempting to conquer the world. As a punishment for their moral corruption and hubris, the gods, led by Zeus, cast their wrath upon Atlantis, causing it to be consumed by earthquakes and floods, sinking beneath the ocean in a single, terrible day and night. Imagine the dazzling splendor of Atlantis, gleaming temples of orichalcum, vast harbors teeming with ships, intricate canals, and a population living in harmonious abundance, their technology seemingly far beyond their time. Then the sudden, cataclysmic shift, the earth trembling violently, the sea rising in colossal waves, the very island tearing apart and plummeting into the abyssal depths, taking with it all its glory and its people. The chilling atmosphere of its demise is one of profound, instantaneous destruction, a terrifying divine judgment. The unsettling climax of Atlantis's tale lies in the persistent, tormenting ambiguity of its existence. Was Plato's account a literal historical record, a memory of a truly lost civilization passed down through oral traditions? Or was it a philosophical allegory, a cautionary tale crafted by Plato to illustrate his theories on ideal societies and the dangers of unchecked power and moral decay? For centuries, adventurers, archaeologists, and mystics have tirelessly searched for Atlantis, combing the ocean floor, examining ancient maps, and exploring remote islands, convinced that somewhere its ruins lie hidden beneath the waves. Countless locations have been proposed, from the Mediterranean, like the volcanic island of Thera Santorini, whose Bronze Age eruption led to a devastating tsunami, to the Caribbean, the Atlantic, and even Antarctica. Each theory is fueled by tantalizing clues, but none has yielded definitive, irrefutable proof of a sunken continent or a lost advanced civilization matching Plato's descriptions. The very lack of concrete evidence, combined with the persistence of the legend, makes it a profound enigma. The enduring power of the Atlantis myth speaks to a deep human longing for lost perfection, a fascination with advanced ancient cultures, and a primal fear of catastrophic destruction. It is a symbol of knowledge lost, of a golden age irrevocably gone, and so, as the phantom whispers of Atlantis's submerged cities fade into the silent, churning depths of the ocean, we are left with a haunting echo of its lost glory. Its disappearance is a stark reminder that the sea can swallow secrets beyond human comprehension, that entire worlds can vanish without a trace, becoming a haunting symbol of vanished utopias and profound natural wrath. In the long-forgotten nights, did the whispers of ancient mariners truly tell of a sunken city, its fate forever an unsolved enigma, a chilling lullaby from a time when the very ocean held secrets of lost empires and divine judgment? The profound silence of the deep speaks volumes, a testament to legend and a chilling enigma of oblivion. Chapter 29. The Nazca lines and the skyward messages. Did an ancient people truly etch colossal, enigmatic messages into the very face of the earth, meant for unseen eyes in the heavens, or are their vast silent designs a chilling enigma, a forgotten ritual from a lost civilization, forever gazing skyward without explanation? Our journey now takes us to the arid, desolate plains of southern Peru, to a stark, otherworldly landscape etched with profound mystery. Here, stretching across hundreds of square miles of the Nazca Desert, are the Nazca lines, colossal carved into the earth, depicting animals, geometric shapes, and human-like figures, so vast they can only be fully appreciated from high above. This isn't merely ancient art. It is an enduring enigma, a baffling riddle from a vanished people. Our story begins around 500 BCE to 500 CE, during the flourishing of the Nazca culture. Living in one of the driest regions on Earth, the Nazca people developed sophisticated irrigation systems to sustain their agriculture. But it was their artistic output, carved into the desert floor, that truly set them apart. They created these enormous designs by removing the reddish-brown iron oxide-coated pebbles from the desert surface, exposing the lighter, yellowish-gray clay underneath. Imagine the meticulous precision required to create such massive designs, some stretching for hundreds of feet, perfectly straight lines running for miles, intricate animal figures rendered with uncanny accuracy. How did they achieve such geometric perfection and scale without the ability to view their work from above? Were they guided by simple string and stakes, or by a more complex, now lost, surveying technique? The figures are diverse and captivating. A hummingbird with an impossibly long beak, a monkey with a coiled tail, a spider, a lizard, a pelican, a human-like figure dubbed the astronaut, and vast, perplexing geometric shapes like spirals, trapezoids, and triangles. The chilling atmosphere surrounding the Nazca lines is one of profound, silent mystery. Why were they created? What was their purpose? The unsettling climax of the Nazca line's tale lies in the persistent, tormenting ambiguity of their meaning. Were they astronomical observatories designed to track celestial movements related to agriculture? Were they ritual pathways, perhaps for ceremonial processions during sacred festivals, the paths themselves imbued with religious significance? Were they offerings to deities, pleas for rain in a parched land, or symbols of underground water, sources vital for their survival? Perhaps most famously, the more outlandish theories suggest they were created as signals or landing strips for extraterrestrial visitors, a silent, ancient message to alien beings. While these theories lack scientific evidence, They underscore the profound human need to find a grand explanation for something so utterly baffling. The Nazca culture itself eventually declined and vanished, leaving behind only these enigmatic earth etchings, their meaning forever lost to the sands of time. The preservation of the lines, despite millennia of wind and rare rain, is a testament to the extreme aridity of the Nazca Desert. They remain silent and vast, gazing skyward, their purpose unfulfilled, their message unheard. And so, as the phantom whispers of the Nazca lines fade into the vast, silent plains, we are left with the haunting echo of their skyward messages. Their existence is a stark reminder that some enigmas defy easy explanation, that ancient cultures can leave behind riddles of such scale and complexity that they seem to speak of profound, lost knowledge. In the long-forgotten nights of the dark ages of the Americas, did the Nazca people truly etch colossal designs for unseen eyes in the heavens? Their fate forever an unsolved enigma, a chilling lullaby from a time when the very earth became a canvas for an unread message. The profound silence of their colossal art speaks volumes, a testament to devotion and a chilling enigma of the unknown. Chapter 30. The Fall of the Western Roman Empire and the Silent Whisperer of Collapsed, a colossal empire, the very bedrock of Western civilization, truly crumble under the weight of external invasions? Or did its demise whisper a more chilling tale of internal rot? A profound enigma of slow, agonizing self-destruction. Our journey now takes us to the twilight years of the ancient world, to the grand, yet increasingly fragile, realm of the Western Roman Empire. This wasn't a sudden, cataclysmic event, but a protracted, complex decline that spanned centuries, ultimately culminating in the official fall in 476 CE. Yet, the true causes of this monumental collapse, and how it felt to live through it, remain a profound, haunting enigma. Our story begins in the 3rd century CE, when the vast Roman Empire, stretched thin by its own expansion, began to show cracks. Economic instability, political turmoil, barbarian incursions along its vast frontiers, and a series of weak or short-lived emperors created a sense of growing unease. The empire was divided into east and west, with the western half centered in Rome, facing the brunt of the external pressures. Imagine the atmosphere in a Roman city in the late 4th or 5th century, the once bustling forums now quieter, the grand aqueducts perhaps falling into disrepair, the distant rumble of barbarian hooves a constant threat. The citizens, once proud inheritors of Roman law and order, now faced rising taxes, declining services, and the terrifying prospect of barbarian. Rome itself was famously sacked by the Visigoths in 410 CE and the Vandals in 455 CE, shattering the myth of its invincibility. The traditional narrative points to the barbarian invasions, the Goths, Vandals, Huns, and Franks as the primary cause of Rome's collapse. Indeed, these invasions were relentless and devastating, carving out new kingdoms from Roman territory. The final act, often cited as the fall, was the deposition of the last Western Roman emperor, Romulus Augustulus, by the Germanic chieftain Odoacer in 476 CE, but this was merely a symbolic end, the culmination of centuries of decline, the unsettling climax of the Western Roman Empire's fall lies in the persistent, tormenting ambiguity of its true, underlying causes. Was it purely external pressure, or were the seeds of destruction sown from within, a more insidious, silent decay? Theories abound, each offering a chilling perspective. Economic collapse, hyperinflation, disrupted trade routes, and a dwindling tax base crippled the state's ability to pay its army and maintain infrastructure. Political instability, a rapid succession of weak emperors, rampant corruption, and the increasing influence of the military over civilian rule eroded central authority. Social decay, declining birth rates, rampant disease, a widening gap between rich and poor, and a loss of civic virtue led to a fragmented society. Environmental factors, climate change, including a period of cooling temperatures, may have impacted agriculture and exacerbated economic woes. Over-militarization. The enormous cost of maintaining a vast army diverted resources from other vital areas, while the reliance on barbarian mercenaries eroded the Roman identity of the legions. The terrifying truth is that there was no single decisive blow, no single cataclysmic event. It was a slow, agonizing unraveling, a gradual loss of control, a creeping decline that felt to those living through it like the end of the world, a profound societal twilight. The grandeur of Rome did not vanish overnight. It slowly crumbled, piece by piece, into the silence of the Dark Ages, and so, as the phantom whispers of the Roman Empire's collapse fade into the silence, we are left with the haunting echo of its gradual demise. Its fall is a stark reminder that even the mightiest empires are fragile, susceptible not just to external threats, but to the insidious rot from within. In the long-forgotten nights of the Dark Ages, did the last Romans truly understand the myriad forces that were consuming their world? Or were they living through an unsolved enigma, a chilling lullaby from a time when the very foundations of civilization crumbled, leaving only the profound silence of ruin? The vast emptiness where an empire once stood speaks volumes, a testament to inevitable change and a chilling enigma of historical entropy.